a wonderful afternoon to all of you out there doing the listening on 97.3 Citi FM. Benjamin Nketia here. We are live. It's the Republic of Football. The one-stop show for everything updates, everything live scores, everything backstories, everything breaking news, statistics, patterns, analysis, milestones, leaderboards, you name it, we have it. It's a pretty busy weekend. The African Cup of Nations obviously rolling along very nicely. Yesterday, we had a couple of the round of 16 matches taking place. First, there was Mali up against Senegal. Senegal knocking Mali out of the competition. And then, host nation Morocco. Morocco up against the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. I think Morocco played Cameroon off the park, but a controversial penalty incident not given has everybody snapping, talking. Is the host nation getting undeserved favors? Or are the host nation getting undeserved favors? We'll get into that as well. We'll get into today's matches. Nigeria Super Eagles repping West Africa. And then you have Algeria repping North Africa. That's a game I'm looking forward to. I'm sure you are as well. That game is at 4 p.m. So we will be here when that game kicks off. We'll talk through some of it. We'll analyze it. And then at 7 p.m., another cracker. The Pharaohs of Egypt up against the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. Should be a good one. We're live on 97.3 Citi FM. That's on radio. If you want to join the conversation via radio, you can send us a text message on 0539 986 996. 0539 986 996 is where you can send us a message through. The text lines are active. If you are observing this one via Twitter, you can get to the official Twitter handle of 97.3 Citi FM. We are live there. You can drop us a message or a tweet. Just use the hashtag The Republic of Football. Hashtag The Republic of Football, and we will get to your message. If you are on YouTube doing the watching, you can get to us on Citi Sports GH. That's where you can find us on Citi Sports GH. And then you can also get to us on Channel 1 TV. I believe we're on Channel 1 TV, so you can get to us on Channel 1 TV as well. So we're everywhere, literally. There's FA Cup action happening. We'll be updating you on the scores as well on those FA Cup matches. So there's a lot to chew on with regards to those as well. Chelsea's new head coach, Liam Rosenior, has been making the round. So Liam Rosenior is turning out to be a bit of a politician, you know, saying all the right things in the media. Some people will say he's even a little cocky. We'll get to that in a bit. But he started off his presser by literally shaking hands with every journalist in the room. I was observing social media. Some people say Charlie Guy no nime juma no pa. So he's doing all the little things with regards to the off the field things, trying to build rapport with the media. We know how that can be, and so let's see how it goes with regards to Liam Rosenior building rapport with the media. So we'll get into that in a bit. So let's talk about Mikel Obi as well. He's waded into Liam Rosenior's issues. He says that Liam Rosenior does not have the CV and the body of work to assume that big Chelsea chair. He says that if you have to be a Chelsea head coach, you need to come correct. You need to come with your credentials, matching the standard of job that you're about to take. And a lot of people have taken him on. Some people say that, bro, when you were being picked up by Chelsea, your CV was nothing to write home about. And it's generated a lot of issues and controversy. We'll dig our teeth into that in a bit as well. But let's start off the conversation on that Liam Rosenior note, and then we will build up into some AFCON, go into the other leagues, talk transfers, because Semenyo is officially a Manchester City player as well. So lots and lots to chew on. Yao Jemita and Manuel Kwache in the studio. Coach Christopher Nimley is around. He'll be joining us also in a bit. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Yes. Let's get right into it, and let's start off on the doorsteps of Chelsea, because that's where I want to begin from. Liam Rosenior, introduced to the media, shared some very interesting thoughts there. A lot of the opening questions bordered around him pulling his weight in a league that has other heavyweight managers. He says that everywhere he has gone, he has excelled, and so he's looking forward to beating these so-called heavyweight managers with his tactics. Very interesting thoughts. Let me start with you, Kwachi, on this Liam Rosenior. So press conference done. Man with a pretty light CV, 41 years old, former Brighton, former Fulham player, talking tough, coming in from Strasbourg, says that all that this manager has won this manager has won that really counts for nothing when the whistle goes and you have to play football. How are you holding that against him, and what are you expecting from him as he steps into the job?
Coming into the job, the thing that I expected most from him, based on the narrative that was happening around, because of how Maresca left the job, everyone's talking about how Maresca wanted power and how he was looking for more control, and that's the reason why he wasn't he was at loggerheads with the ownership. So with Rosenior coming in, I can completely understand why when he takes the job, his first, because he's trying to sound like, quote unquote, he's trying to sound like a tough guy. He's trying to sound like somebody that if he's put in a position of power, he's not necessarily there because they can control him, like the way the narrative in the press is about what the blue coat owner is searching for in a manager. So I can understand why coming in he's talking big game. But as always with these things, the thing that matters most is if you come in, you have to start winning. He's spoken a lot about winning, but winning games individually is that's a test of a good manager if you're able to win games. But I think some managers are also better at winning important games and winning when it really matters most. And that's the thing that I don't think he's had enough experience with. And I don't think he's aware of the pressure that's coming on him the more that he says.
Oh, he's not? You sure he's not? He's played in the Premier League before.
I mean, yeah, he's played in the Premier League before, but this is a different scale of a job entirely. And you can see it even with someone like Amorim. Because when he came from Portugal, he was a league-winning manager. He had a really big talk about him as well. Sometimes too open, sometimes a little bit too naive. But he was also talking very much in terms of, there was a point where he said he would never change his formation. And then getting to the end, you can see him shifting and changing different types. He went back to a 4-back. So obviously, all's good when you start and before you're in the job. But as soon as you're in the job, how you perform is what matters most. And the thing that worried me, especially with Chelsea lost to Fulham, it's a bit like the United and a bit like Arsenal when Arteta came in. These things you can start getting used to these things, if that makes sense. So once they start losing, and you used to compete for the league, but now, now we qualify for the Champions League before you realize you're qualifying for the Europa League, and you've lost sense of what your purpose was as a club. Chelsea, as they have always been, they always want to win trophies. So I don't think that's going to change. But I think that the way he's speaking, expectations are there for him, but I don't think he will, at this moment, I don't think he'll be able to meet those expectations if he doesn't start off on the right foot, and if he isn't able to get the players to understand what he's trying to do.
Liam Rosenior in. Interesting. Leroy Rosenior was a Premier League player as well, so his dad is a pundit these days, I believe.
Yeah, he works with the Premier League TV and other establishments like that.
Yeah. Lots of people are calling this a few steps back for Chelsea Football Club. I'm sure Rosenior does not agree, but having won Club World Cup, having been hovering around the top four, flirted with title contention a bit. Is he the kind of guy who can kick on from where Maresca left off, or you think that for them to get back to that level, they'll probably have to take a few steps back? Also, how do you feel about his opening presser, his opening interactions?
I think he will be successful, but I don't think it will be immediate. Looking at what Enzo Maresca did in his first season, he got the FIFA Club World Cup title, he won the Conference League title, and so when I look at that and I look at this Chelsea squad and I look at Rosinha's CV and his body of work so far, I don't think he'll be able to match what Maresca did immediately. But there's a reason why they gave him a long-term contract up to 2032. I think they are looking more into the future than the immediacy. I know that with Chelsea, looking at the chaos that comes with it, I mean, you have to just look at Graham Potter and what happened to him. But it looks like they have more. The owners of the club have more confidence and are okay with Liam Rossini than they were with Graham Potter or any of the other managers that they appointed. And you can say Maresca too was their handpicked guy, but the point is Maresca's looking at the coaching trajectory of Maresca, having been with Pep Guardiola, he wasn't going to settle. That's the thing. Rossini is not on Maresca's level at this point in time. He hasn't worked with Pep Guardiola. You get it? And so he will be a bit more accommodating to chopping and changing and bringing in the next wonder kids, as you usually put it, and building around those guys. He will be a bit more patient than what Maresca is used to, more or less, or what he brought to the table. Because Maresca has been around Man City, the time they were winning Champions League, the time they were winning 4 league titles in a row, the time they were winning the treble. So such a manager, and on top of that, his first year he tasted success. So such a manager, if you want to do that whole next big thing project while being competitive, he won't be okay with it, too okay with it, because at the end of the day, yes, you'll be competitive, but you wouldn't necessarily be in a position where you'll be able to sign Victor Osimhen. Rather, you'll be charged with handling a guy like, a team that has strikers like Nicholas Jackson, strikers like Liam Delap. That's what you'll be dealing with. And not everyone has the kind of patience to be dealing with those kind of players. But looking at the body of work of Liam Rossini, these are the kind of players that he works with. At Hull City, at RC Strasbourg, these are the players that he works with. So I think, unlike the other candidates, Rossini fits the profile. He checks every box that the Chelsea owners, per what they've done so far, and looking at based on what they've done so far, looking at the vision that they are trying to achieve or try to accomplish, Rossini fits that bill. And so for me, I think it's a good hire. And on top of that, it is something that has become pretty much trendy these days, where a young hot shot coach is brought in based on what he can achieve and not what he has done at that point of his appointment. Look at Bayern Munich, what they did with Vincent Kompany. Does Vincent Kompany's body of work fit a Bayern Munich coach? Hell no. A head coach of Bayern Munich, and you got your last job, you got your team relegated? Of course not. But at the end of the day, they saw the potential in there. Then they did their own calculations and realized that, okay, if we look at the sample size based on the quality of players that he has, and we marry that with the players that we have, and on top of that, the league that we play in and the position that we play, I think it will be a perfect marriage. And they did that, and so far, it's yielded results. They've won the Bundesliga title. They don't measure their success by winning the Bundesliga title. It was measured by the Champions League. And in the Champions League, we saw what happened, or the controversy surrounding the Champions League exit and all. the FIFA Club World Cup. They ran into the juggernaut called Paris Saint-Germain, and they got eliminated. And so now the jury is out there for Vincent Kompany to build on that. Yeah. And so far, he's okay because in the Champions League, they rank second, I believe, in the standings behind Arsenal. So I am cool with Liam Roseniu's appointment. And the bit about Mikel Obi, yeah, his statement. I know a lot of pro-black people will be coming for him because Roseniu is black, and you don't have too many black head coaches or managers in the Premier League or in the top European leagues in all. And so having another black guy attack another black guy is more like, yeah, you are going against your own, more or less. But at the end of the day, I think Mikel Obi, people who are going at Mikel Obi for making those statements, I think that who was he? What was his CV before coming to Chelsea? I think a lot of people forget who Mikel Obi was before coming to Chelsea. Yep. He was one of the most sorted players in the world.
He was a top 5 youngster in the world.
Thank you. At under 20, they should go back and watch the under 20 2005 final. Argentina, silver ball behind Lionel Messi. Argentina and Nigeria, they should go and watch the final. Manchester United almost signed him, and Chelsea came in at the last minute, dropped a heavy bag of cash, and convinced him to move to Chelsea.
Alex Ferguson nearly had a fit when he didn't sign for United.
People, before you go at Mikel Obi, you should really check the record and look at who Mikel Obi was before going to Chelsea.
Did Mikel play more than 10 seasons at Chelsea?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, and I feel like he's one of those guys who literally survived almost every era
because
at Chelsea.
He played his role.
Yep. Not flashy, very, very business-like, straight to the point.
Tactically disciplined.
Very.
He played his role, and that's the reason why he lasted that long. And unfortunately, it hurt him because Mikel Obi could have been a Yaya Toure. Easy. He had all the tools: tall, strong, passing range, strength, speed. Like, he wasn't the fastest, but he had some slowness, but it was slow but sure kind of thing. He wasn't the fastest, but he was moving. You could see that this guy is moving on the pitch, but it's not like he's rapid.
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy. And so, unfortunately, a lot of people take digs at him. But look, he's right to question the CV, but where he is wrong with his analysis or assessment of Liam Roseniu's appointment is that the Chelsea that Mikel Obi knew, that Chelsea is gone. That Chelsea is gone. That Chelsea that always wanted to bring in the best of the best in every position, that Chelsea is no more. These days, they want to be competitive. They want to battle the elites of the world, but in a way that wouldn't necessarily have them feel the best of the best in all positions. In the sense that they will still have quality, but they will be quality enough to be like the next big thing. They wouldn't be necessarily the finished product. Drogba got to Chelsea as a finished product. Shevchenko, Crespo, all of those guys, they got to Chelsea as finished product. Ricardo Carvalho and company. You get it. Ashley Cole did his marination, got through his marination period at Arsenal. Once he was ready as a finished product, then Chelsea went and grabbed him. That Chelsea is in the past. And that's the Chelsea Mikel Obi knows. And I think that's the orientation that he still has. And that's why he made that comment about Liam Roseniu, because per the new orientation of Chelsea, we are going to be competitive, but we are going to marry it with a little bit of ton or tete-ton, more or less. We are going to marry it with bringing in the next generation of top talents, have them play and do well, then we sell them on and bring more profit to the club.
Well, it looks like the Chelsea model has changed. From what you're saying, they become more a Borussia Dortmund than a Bayern Munich.
No, so I wouldn't say it has changed. It has been tinkered with a little bit, because the old school Chelsea, they brought in established players and they didn't give enough room to the youngsters. But they managed to sell those youngsters for good money, like Kevin De Bruyne, like Mo Salah. But now the new Chelsea, the established players who are top level veteran players who have like 8 years pro experience, they are few and far between. And so what that means is that there is more avenue for the youngsters to play than they did.
Okay.
You get it? Because unlike the Chelsea of old, where the established players, they couldn't sell them for proper value because they didn't have any resale value. Because Drogba at that point didn't have any top level resale value because he had peaked at the time he was at Chelsea. But now you can still sell Cole Palmer and make more money.
Fair.
You get it? Aside being able to sell the youngsters. So that's the little bit of tinkering that they've done. But it's pretty much the same model.
Well, for Chelsea fans, let me hear from you guys in the YouTube comment section. Let me also hear from you guys via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram. 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. Now, for those who don't know, Liam Rosenia is also a 3-back guy. So, Amorim-esque, if you can put it that way. He likes his 3-4-3. That's how his team typically looks. Now, if you look at a little story I have here. Now, he was Hull City manager in 2022. Now, he was handed this job by Akun Ilkali, owner of Hull City. Now, this is what happened. This was his first managerial role. Now, at the time, they were 1 point above the relegation zone when they hired him. They ended up finishing 15th that season. So, it was considered a decent job. The next season, they got a few good loan players. So, guys like Fabio Carvalho, guess who? Liam Delap. He worked with Liam Delap while he was at Hull City. But that season, they finished 7th and they could not earn promotion. And they were fired. He was fired from the job. Now, according to Akun Elikali, and I'm quoting him, he reviewed why he sacked Rosenia for that job. And he says that it was the lack of attacking football that cost Rosenia his job. Now, I quote, "I want offensive football. I want an attacking, entertaining team. I said it from the first minute I bought this club. I said I would rather lose 3-2 than have a boring goalless draw. If you are counting the points and draw every game goalless, you are going to get relegated. So if you lose 3-2, it means you will win another game 4-1. Very interesting opinion there, but a good idea of what Liam Rosenia is coming to do. So I'm giving you an idea. 3-4-3 is his favorite tactic, and he is more a conservative manager than an expansive, excited manager. So those are a few things to chew on. You want to say something before?
At that level, I think there are two main things. So when you're a club like Chelsea, Manchester City, Liverpool, your main aim is competing for titles every season.
Yeah.
And while often most people want beautiful football along with that, if you're able to get over the line in tight movements, sometimes it's enough. When you're one of the mid-table clubs like, say, an Everton or a Fulham or most of the time, if you are short of being like either safety in the league you are in or you're not really competing for promotion, the thing that you really want is at least not a nice football. You want to be entertained. You want to use the football as a way to release stress. Coming into Chelsea,
which is what football is about. That's why I don't like defensive teams. The people who come and park the bus and waste everybody's time for 90 minutes plus. I'm just saying.
But to some people, the priority of the football game is to win the football game. You are just the fans, and this is the team you support, but the team are going out there to win the football game.
No, go ahead.
No, so I mean, I can completely get why he was sacked at Hull City. Coming into Chelsea, the worrying thing for me now is at Chelsea that won't last long. Even Tuchel was winning trophies, and at some point his football was not good enough for the Chelsea fans. So if you are coming in with all this big talk and you are coming to play football, that in their eyes is not attractive. And to be like, I saw him speaking, said that the team has a lot of potential, that they can go on and do a lot. But at the same time too, like Yao mentioned, if you look at their business model where they are constantly constantly selling their goods to bring in younger players who they can then keep and then sell on later. And you see it with the contracts that they have. They're giving them 7-year contracts. Even Mudryk, who unfortunately cannot play for them now, I think it'll be another 5 years.
He's there. Is he around?
He's still there.
What's he doing now? He has a Chelsea contract still.
He still has a Chelsea contract. I mean, I think he's appealing his case against the doping the doping ban that was imposed on him. I don't know how well that would help him. But in Chelsea's case, because you sign a player like him on a long-term contract, unless you are able to get someone else to come in for him, it means that these players are tied down and they can earn as much as they want. You can even see it with Sterling, because he offered Sterling a rather lengthy contract for someone of his age. And now that things are not working out well, it's harder to move them on. But the main point is, as a coach for someone like Rosinia, if you are coming in and the people around they are changing the players constantly around you, it's really hard to gain any momentum. It's really hard to gain any momentum as a football club, because it feels like as soon as you hit 2-3 good seasons, and you see it all the time with some of these young teams. Like if you remember the Malaga team under Pellegrini, if you remember that Monaco team with Silva and Glick, even Leverkusen, even that Ajax team under Ten Hag. There's a limited amount of time that you can do once you have all these group of players together, and sometimes it's something you can achieve. Even in basketball terms, I was watching one of the documentaries, and you can hear James Harden speaking about the time when him and Russell Westbrook and KD were at the Rockets, and there was this before Harden got traded to Houston, to Houston, OKC, before Harden got traded to Houston. There's once you have such talent, obviously other teams are circling, and there's a window with what you can achieve. But what Chelsea are choosing to do is we open a window, and as soon as it's open, we change it and we bring in new players. And as good as a coach is, it means that you have to start again from the ground up. Obviously, you can keep some key players. Maybe you can keep the core of your team. But at some point, all the change will start to affect the other players who are there. Because then if other players are allowed to move on, some players also start thinking, maybe I should also start looking for a move that might improve my career. I can already imagine Cole Palmer thinking, okay, maybe when I came to Chelsea, I thought this was a stable place. This is what I was coming to achieve.
But there's too much turmoil going on.
There's too much turmoil now, and at this point, maybe if another offer comes in for him, but that's where they are, because they have the long contract. That's where they have an advantage, because they are not going to lose most of these players on a free to Madrid like the way other clubs are likely to. And because they have extended contracts, it means that even if you are selling them, because of how young they are, it'll be very hard to make a loss. But at the same time, too, for Rosinia, he needs to find a way to balance that. I think Maresca did it quite well. He kept a poker face even when he was in public. But
Maresca's rude. That's a conversation for another day.
I think he's blunt. I mean, not in a Dutch sense. The Dutch want the way Dutch are honest, but he's a bit more. He says things that we probably shouldn't be saying out loud to other people. But
that guy's rude. A conversation for another day, like I keep saying. Anyway,
But now that he's there, he just needs to. I think it'll be hard. I think it'll be hard for him to find a way to balance the constant changing scene, unless they can also assure him that there's going to be more stability going forward. That means, so because when Maresca came in, if you remember, they had about 20, 30, a lot of players. They even there was talk about having to have 2 separate dressing rooms. And then Maresca became the fall guy for that, because he picked the players he liked, and the rest of the other players had to train sideways. And the ones that they weren't able to sell, they didn't even reintegrate them back into the team, like Disasi and Sterling. And
I was just about to ask about Raheem Sterling.
And all these things make it really difficult for him. So I just hope that with all the tough talk he's coming in, he can actually have the control that he thinks he wants to have.
Let me just ask one more question before I read a few messages and we'll move on. Yeah, I mean, talking of Raheem Sterling and a guy like Disasi, for instance, especially Raheem Sterling, World Cup year coming, Liam Rosinia as a new manager, and Sterling has been in exile for a while. Does he get a new lease of life with the new manager, or you think that the decision to probably sideline him is a club one and nothing will probably change?
Yeah, I think it's a club one, and any matter concerning Raheem Sterling and the England national team and the World Cup, I think that ship has sailed.
But if they want to sell him, which I think they do, wouldn't you be better off playing him and trying to get his value up?
Oh, at this point, because
his contract is almost out.
Because of the contract, it's always going to be an obstacle. And so if they want to do away with Raheem Sterling, then they need to renegotiate his contract. Then I'm pretty sure a lot of teams will be interested in him. I mean, the likes of Fulham, the likes of Burnley would definitely be interested in him.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is, I mean, the way I see it with Sterling is there's an extra year after his contract finishes. No, it doesn't end after the end of this year. I think it's 2027 that his contract runs out too.
Yeah, but like I said, you can restructure the contract. You can renegotiate the contract.
Will he be interested?
Yeah, it depends on the kind of conversation and compensation you give him.
Well,
so yeah, that can be done, and there are a lot of clubs in England that will definitely do with the services of Raheem Sterling. I mean, he's still quick, and he's an English Premier League vet. He has that winners gloss around his body, because everywhere he's gone, he's won. I mean, no, not everywhere. Well, yeah, with the exception of Liverpool. But at the time he made it into the top level.
I don't think he won anything at Arsenal, did he?
He made a stop at Arsenal. I forgot.
Yeah, he made a stop.
Didn't he stop at Fulham as well?
No, he was supposed to. That was the move
go.
that was supposed to materialize.
I think Arsenal he won the Carabao Cup. I'll check it out.
I Arsenal have not won the Carabao Cup.
No, I mean the Community Shield.
Yeah,
I think
one of those things.
I think he won one of. Yeah, I think he won the Community Shield. So at least I mean he's won something.
Anyway, so
but and look at all the things that he won with Manchester City. Yeah, there are a lot of clubs in the English Premier League who would readily welcome or take in Raheem Sterling on a reduced
wage.
Wage.
He this year he's on $17 million. That is how much he's getting for his that's his 1 year salary.
Yeah, so that case isn't it better for them to play him and then maybe with 1 year left on his contract, maybe get $10 million for him? Because the alternative is if you leave it up to this summer, you probably then want to just buy him out because it's the same as him staying for the extra year.
Yeah,
and
because at the end of the day,
if
you there's no way you're going to play him ahead of guys like Gittins, ahead of guys like Garnacho. Guys like
I think he can get to a team ahead of Garnacho.
Guys that you invested so much
he can, but will the team
and on top of
create
that,
a pathway for him to
and on top of that, you look at even the timelines. I mean, he's what in his 30s.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are 25, 24, and like I said, it's all about resale value. You look at the resale value of Gittins. You look at the resale value of potentially Garnacho if he hits a good vein of form. His resale value is always going to be higher than Raheem Sterling's resale value. Raheem Sterling can score 30 goals between now and the end of the season. No one is going to spend £50 million on Raheem Sterling. But let Jamie Gittins go on a hot streak, score like
even 10 goals, 10 assists.
It will generate buzz.
Plenty.
Let Garnacho score like 20 goals and drop like 8 more assists to his tally and add to his assist tally that he has for the season. He will still generate buzz. And the next thing you know, because he's South American, they'll be linking him to clubs like Real Madrid. Exactly. Resale value way higher than Raheem Sterling. So looking at the Chelsea model, I think it will be best you restructure his contract so that you can be able to move him on this off season.
Let me read a few messages from YouTube and then maybe we will just dip into the United situation because that's also pretty new as well. So Calvin Duck says Nigeria is getting knocked out. Real NK Tube says kindly touch on the sacking of Amorim. Calvin Dax again comes and says Liam Rosinia didn't even interview for the job.
He was handpicked.
He says Calvin Dax comes and says I know Gary O'Neill is going to be the new Chelsea manager at the end of the season. Ibrahim Smile says as a United fan, I'm happy for Chelsea's new coach who was Rooney's apprentice. Charlie, I know what you're trying to do there. Calvin Dax says he's better than Rooney. Rooney can't even keep a championship job. He barely lasted 10 games at any championship club he coached.
Oh, no. I mean, at Derby County, he lasted way.
Plymouth was where it didn't go well, but Derby and at Birmingham lasted a bit longer than that.
And on top of that, with Rooney, it's not a question about his ability to coach. It's about the choices that he's made. The choices. I mean, it's all about the choices because you look at Liam Rossiniu from Hull City, then he went to RC Strasbourg. I mean, Championship and League 1. If you look at the player quality, they're pretty much on the same level. And so, in that sense, it works. But Rooney, midway through a season where Birmingham are ranked among the top 4 and are in position to potentially make the playoffs or even qualify straight into the Premier League. Their coach and their board have a little bit of a falling out. They sack him, which is a very unpopular decision. Then Rooney jumps in like, oh yes, I've been approached and I like this project, and he goes in there. And it is clear that the players didn't gravitate towards him. It just didn't work, and they ended up sacking him. Just 3-4 months after appointing him, and so in that sense, that's a bad choice. He was doing a solid job with the MLS club. I forgot the name. With Washington.
Rosinia?
No, with Rooney. At the time he was
DC United.
DC United, yes. And all of a sudden he just says, "Okay, I've dropped the project.
I'm coming to England.
I've resigned. I'm coming back to England."
Yeah.
Build your CV.
Yep.
I mean, Wilfred Nancy. I mean, he was the coach of the year, MLS coach of the year in 2024. He recently got appointed by Celtic, Glasgow Celtic. It didn't also go well because Glasgow Celtic are also going through their turmoil, and now they sacked him after just 33 days. But here's the thing: if he has stayed in the MLS and continued building up DC United and potentially moved to another club and built on what he had done with DC United, yes, these kind of jobs, he would have been in line to get these kind of jobs.
True.
But the choices that he made, it was a little bit over the place.
Yeah, this one here is from George Adama. Says, I can't believe they are predicted South Africa are going to win the AFCON.
I mean, why would that be crazy? At the end of the day,
they have an AFCON winning coach.
Yes, at the end of the day, they have an AFCON winning coach. The last AFCON, they finished third.
Yeah.
And since then,
they qualified for a World Cup.
They qualified for the World Cup. And since finishing third at the last AFCON, their player pool, the quality of their player pool has improved.
Makes sense. Let's read more messages. This one says, Charlie, Ibrahim Smile says, Rosinia, the name even sounds like Valentine's Day. What does that even mean? What does that mean? Calvin Dack says Maresca was hungry to win after winning the Conference League and also the Club World Cup, and they went to buy Garnacho, Gittins, and Delap.
Exactly. That's the thing.
Authentic BBF says Chelsea should be careful about English coaches. Nanayao says that Massa, even me, if I coach Bayern, I'll succeed. Don't compare company to Arteta or any young coach in the Premier League. You succeed. Tuchel nearly didn't succeed. Go and ask him. Calvin Dack says, company and Arteta have quality players in every position. What are you on about? Our left wing is dead. Strikers poor. Centre backs below average. So somebody's not happy with the Chelsea makeup. This one here says that how old was Delap at Hull City? That was 2022. So you can do the math based on how old he is now. I am Meche says that you watch Liam and say he doesn't play attacking football. Wow, I'm not sure you watch Strasbourg. Well, he's been described as a defensive coach. He himself says he's a pretty conservative coach, and I'm telling you that I'm telling you why he was fired at Hull City. Yeah, I'm not telling you about Strasbourg. I'll tell you about Hull City.
But I mean, I think that's why him and Rooney's relationship worked quite well, because he was more of the, at least from the way it's, I understand that he was more of the tactics guy. So Rooney was doing more of the man management and obviously he's Wayne Rooney. So when he speaks to you, you are more bound to listen, especially when you're a player playing at that level and you've looked up to Wayne Rooney. But how do you call it? He's actually more tactically flexible than I think he's given credit for.
Okay, but he's a 3-back system guy, so we'll see how it goes. Let me. You want to say something? About
just on that. I just think the Strasbourg part of it is a bit sad because you've seen a lot of the multi-club ownership models that's coming all around. You see the problems that Crystal Palace had. Obviously, theirs was slightly more complex with the John Textor case, but the Strasbourg fans were protesting against their precedent because now, obviously, it seems like a mutual relationship, but now it's just at a point where as soon as they have anything good, whether it's a player or Chelsea can just be like, I want this player, I want this.
But it's vice versa too.
But they gave them Ben Chilwell. They didn't want Ben Chilwell.
Exactly.
So that's the whole point. So the players we don't want, we come and dump them here because we can't move them on to other clubs. And as soon as you have anything that's good, we can just take it because this is our bigger club. And the ownership models kind of makes it seem like both clubs are not independent, even though there's multi-club ownership, both clubs should have their own sense of independence.
Anyway, let me move the conversation on to United because they have a coaching situation as well. And you want to touch on Chelsea's case? Liam Rosenier, former Brighton, former Ipswich defender, coached Hull City for a season and a half, got fired, got the Strasbourg job, 3-back system guy. He's been touted as a defensive-minded guy by one of his old employers.
He got Strasbourg to qualify to the Conference League. They finished 7th in the French League in his first season.
Yeah, so he says that he achieves things. He does things. People can doubt him, but he's a winner. And so he's going to bring his winning touch to Chelsea.
He's not a winner. He's won nothing. He's not what has he won? He's not won any silverware. In a game of football, one say somebody is no, that doesn't make him a winner. And then everybody who takes it to the 8, 9, 10, we are all winners. But that doesn't make him a winner.
He's a winner in the making.
Maybe. But so until he does that,
Yeah.
he cannot describe himself as a winner. For me, if you're a Chelsea fan, you should be very, very sad.
Oh, you're coming to dampen the spirits of the people.
No, you should be very, very sad.
Anthony assist.
Look,
Hey.
I envy.
So just a quick update. It's a game between Real Oviedo, I believe,
And yes, and Real Betis.
It's
And
1-1.
Yeah, and Anthony assisted on the Real Betis equalizer.
Right.
And from a Ghanaian perspective, Kwesi Sibo started this game, but he got taken off in the 56th minute.
Decent. Okay, so we'll take it. He's been pushing for a move, but looks like ever since he started agitating for a move,
Yeah.
he's been getting a little more playing time. Coach, make your point.
Yes, so like I'm saying, if you are a Chelsea's fan, true and true, you should be very sad. Why am I saying so? I'm saying so simply because, look, I don't like Chelsea, but I envied them under Roman Abramovich. The quality Abramovich brought in terms of coaches, I wish we could go through the list.
In fact, all the Ghanaian Chelsea fans today,
From Claudio Ranieri.
they are Chelsea fans because of Abramovich.
Yes. From Claudio Ranieri. He was the first person. Went to watch Jose Mourinho.
Yep.
I may not be able to arrange them in order, but from Mourinho there was Avram Grant.
Felipe
From,
Scolari.
Felipe Scolari.
Gus Hiddink.
Gus Hiddink. Ancelotti.
They brought Villas Boas.
And Andres Villas-Boas.
Who is now the
the-
manager at Porto.
Exactly. The
President, yeah, the president.
You understand?
Interesting.
Look at the quality. The only person who was a gamble, in my view, under Abramovich was Roberto Di Matteo. But even him, he won the Champions League with them.
We had Antonio Conte.
Antonio Toto Conte. That is the quality.
Yeah. Luis
That
Felipe
is
Scolari.
Luis Felipe Scolari, Ancelotti.
Charlie, they've had some heavy hitters.
New age.
You understand?
New ownership, new age.
Now under Todd Bowley and his so-called consortium,
Bluco
from
Consortium.
Portable to Lampardo to what is saying?
Tuchel.
Maresca.
No, they fired Tuchel.
Yeah, they fired
Abramovich brought Tuchel.
Yeah.
And they fired Tuchel. And they brought in Portable to Lampardo to Maresca.
Yeah. And now
And then to what?
Liam Rosen.
Leon Rosener.
Yeah.
And yeah, the three of, except for Lampard, because he came in on mid-season, but all of them were all given 5-year contracts. So I
Yes.
don't think it's necessarily.
And
a
nobody
question of-
made it to the second year of his contract.
how
Nobody.
do you call it? The last time a Chelsea manager has served has been the 3 seasons. I think goes all the way back to Mourinho.
Hey.
You understand? And
Wow. That's
if you are going in for a coach, it speaks volume of your ambition. I don't think this is an ambitious club any longer.
Hey.
It's a business club. It's about the money they will make. But it's not about winning silverware.
What do you have to say about the argument that I also continue making, that there aren't a lot of winners in terms of managers around? A lot of the managers who are around are like talented young managers coming up whom you probably want to take a gamble with, and so those are a lot of what you are getting, unless you want to go back and hire a Mourinho, an Ancelotti, or a Conte.
And the
There
problem
aren't a
with
lot of those
yes,
around.
and the problem with those guys is that they are dug in their ways.
Yeah, and they want to be managers, not
And they want to
coaches.
be
That is where
managers.
it isn't that they are not around. No. It is the owners themselves
Chelsea
not
don't want-
ready to submit.
Yeah, they don't want a manager. Because if you notice, the
Yes.
friction started from Thomas Tuchel.
Yes.
When he was asking for things, they were like, we don't do it this way. We want you to do it our way.
No,
then-
and a manager of that caliber will not budge. And this is what the teams, not only Chelsea, even Manchester United. The reason why Amorim has left
they're
is
not giving him
because they
autonomy.
want to control and micromanage him. That is why that guy will always earn my respect. He will always earn my because for as young as he is, he stood up to the board
Yeah.
and he told them boldly in the face, Jim Ratcliffe, the Glazers, Wilcox, Barada, he told them, when you are coming from me, I was told I'm going to be the manager. So I see myself as the manager of Manchester United. You either back me or you sack me. I am not going to bend to any tactical switch. I made it very clear from day one. I love such managers. I love such managers. Can you boss Jurgen Klopp? Jurgen Klopp.
Nope.
He was the manager of Liverpool. And his Slot is the coach of Liverpool. So for him,
but he was also a Bundesliga winner when he was coming.
that is it.
But
It's established.
and it's not
not
won
won
the
the
Eredivisie.
Eredivisie.
Yeah, he has accepted to be a coach.
Facts.
So very soon, he himself is the next in line. They will sack him. Who is Pep Guardiola? He's not a
I
coach.
saw the memes.
He's not a coach.
After the time, Maresca and Amorim.
The next person is Slotto.
Slotto.
Slotto. He has to be sacked.
Yeah, but second.
Ewa. So you cannot go and dictate to Pep Guardiola. You dare not bring him any player that he himself doesn't sanction. Okay? So at the end of the day, it is becoming a norm that all the big teams in the world, the one manager or the one coaches they can control, they are not handling the power onto the coaches. They want the technical directorate to have the most power. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's also everything wrong with that.
I mean,
Especially when the ideology of the coach and the technical director are not in sync.
Yeah.
That's where you create the most
But
problem.
then
But when
you
they are
go
in
into
sync,
different directions.
yes, when they are in sync, they'll work it out.
And just to touch on that in sync or not being in sync, I'll come to you in a bit. It's like Pep and Cheeky Begristein, what they used to have.
Lovely.
So in the beginning, there was a lot of talk about Pep didn't like some of the players that Cheeky was buying, but in the end, most of the players he bought for him worked out for him. At least 8 out of 10.
Yes, because
so he learned to trust him.
He virtually, they believed in the same thing.
Learned to trust him and learned to say, okay, if Cheeky likes the player, he will be good for us.
Exactly. Because he's worked with Chicken for some time and they virtually speak the same language when it comes to football. So if you're a Chelsea fan, you should be sad. If you're a Manchester United fan, you should equally be sad. Because it is looking like there will be no future, no better future for these teams. So for me, look, it's sad, but it is looking like that is the new direction
The club is taken.
the owners
Yeah.
of football, of clubs, are trying to go along. But I can assure you, they will not be having permanent coaches. He comes 1 year, maximum 2 years, he's gone. A time will come, we'll be having recycling
I was just about to say.
of all these coaches. Recycling. Abramovich, if he was the one sacking Maresca. But now, do you know where he would have gone to? Let me give you a perfect example. He would have gone to Saudi and go and tell somebody like Inzaghi, let's go and coach Chelsea.
Yeah.
I put the money down. I pay you. Let's go. Come on, move. And look, the way he would speak, when he speaks to you on the phone, you've got no option than to say, I go. I'm coming.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You understand?
I get what you
That was the authority and the level of ambition that Abramovich had. Abramovich, he had proper ambition, proper authority. If you say you're a coach and you don't want to win titles, what makes you a coach then? The owners of the clubs don't want you to win for your CV to get rich. They want to use you, play second, play third, fourth, fifth, sixth. They qualify to the Champions League. Players do well. They are selling them 60 million, 100 million, 80 million, 150 million. And you are just there winning nothing. You've moved from Maresca. What was his crime? His crime is that I've outperformed the target you've set for me. Now, as a coach, upgrade my team. I want to go and win big.
Give me Victor Osimhen.
You're not giving me-
Give me Victor Osimhen.
Liam Delap.
Liam Delap. Hey,
And Joao Pedro.
and Pedro.
With Nicolas Jackson in there.
Delap, what have we known about Delap? How did his father coach him? What was the legacy of his father? Throw in.
Don't do this. Don't do. Rory Delap was a set piece expert.
No,
He
on
was a
throw-ins. On throw-ins.
But throw-ins are set
And
pieces.
about technical ability, the only training, how to receive the ball from throw.
His first touch was also.
Who Delap? Which Delap?
Anyway, let me just give you an idea of what's going on. So, a few upsets from the FA Cup. I believe that Macclesfield have knocked out Crystal Palace from the FA Cup 2-1. Big surprise there. Also, Nottingham Forest
Wrexham.
have been knocked out by Wrexham. So we'll get to those two in a bit. We'll talk about them in a bit. There's a penalty shootout currently happening. Look at Pickford between Sunderland and Everton Football Club. So I think we should just
Let's focus on that.
Let's get through the penalties, and then I'll come back to Coach Suland, and then we'll enter into the United realm.
And it looks like Everton
have missed their first penalty already. So it's the FA Cup. That's what we are witnessing. There's no Premier League action this weekend. It's an FA Cup weekend rather, and that's what we are experiencing currently. So penalty shootout. Sunderland about to take their first kick. Pickford trying to intimidate the taker. I can't see who exactly that is, but let's see how this goes. And it's 1-0 penalty. So Sunderland converts their first spot kick. So that's how things are breaking down. Now we have a 1-0 advantage, Sunderland. Everton are back to the line. Penalties are always exciting when it's not your team taking part. Yeah, it's always really exciting to watch two teams when you are in a neutral position battle it out in a penalty shootout. So it's 1-1 so far. Meanwhile, Leicester City managed to beat Cheltenham by 2-0. So they are through to the next round of the
Barry, is that how to play?
This guy, I told you, Manuel's guy. This guy is not good. I told you this guy is not good. This guy, he's just a Beto, like a young
a replica of Beto.
Look at him.
But when he scores, he actually has good finishes.
No, but what sort of penalty was that? Look at that.
Bruno Fernandes.
He went and did the Bruno
He
Fernandes.
didn't wait for the keeper to move.
No, but in doing that, do you know the quality of players who usually do this?
They don't look at the ball. I think that's
I'm
another distinction.
surprised. Like,
But he was looking at the ball. Bruno does that. He doesn't look at the ball. He keeps his eye on the
he's not
goalkeeper.
serious. They're about to get knocked out in the shootout. He's not serious.
Jorginho,
So Granit Xhaka
he will just blast it in.
will take Sunderland's second penalty. That's a lefty penalty coming.
Simple.
Sweet
I just
stuff.
told you.
Sweet stuff.
He will just
Xhaka-
blast it in.
Granit Xhaka makes it 2-0.
Of course. With
for
all
Sunderland.
these
making fun of
great
him
years
for
of
it.
experience.
Yeah.
He will make fun of him. He is a class act. Xhaka is very experienced.
He's laughing at
You see the penalty he took?
What's going on there?
Pickford had no chance whatsoever.
I think he had a few words. They having a few words for each other after that penalty. Granit Xhaka is telling Pickford a few things there. It's 2-0.
I mean, they can't lose from here. They look too
Everton
confident.
missed this, and it's
Ghana lost from this position
I'm
at the
telling you.
2015
Thank you.
AFCON final.
This is going to be a miss. J Beto,
they missed this, and it's curtains.
Magantro. I told you to miss it.
Oh my goodness!
Guinea-Bissau's finest.
Charlie Beto, see guys, I always say that it takes a lot to become a professional player, and I really
No, but wait,
respect
look,
professional players. But guys, Beto is
no.
not better than me. I'm telling you.
This penalty, dear.
Beto, no, be say it is
Terrible technique.
no disrespect. This guy, he's not better than me. See, if this guy and I
But where
play,
did they buy him from?
it was for
From
Udinese.
Udinese, yeah.
25 million pounds.
No.
If this guy and I
They've
play,
been robbed.
if this guy and I play the same number of matches, we will score the same number of goals.
Now they
I'm
scored
telling
is
you.
then they
score
win
more
the game.
goals than
They
him.
scored is they win the game.
Oh,
Sunderland
what kind of
scored.
penalty is this?
I mean, how does that the rest of the team feel if your two main strikers are not even scoring their penalty?
that is it. So no, and yeah, nobody will be disappointed because they all sucked. So I think that's what it is. Pickford is trying to,
No, you should forget. The guy will just slap the ball into the net.
trying to intimidate
Smash
the
it in.
taker.
Beam. I thought that was
What
what
a
was going to
penalty!
do. You just go and smash it
What
in.
a penalty!
No delay.
What are the Everton players doing?
And it's curtains. Everton played the penalties with no conviction, mostly no direction, and no power as well. So they have been
They're
dumped.
not serious
They've been
at
dumped and They
all.
missed all their 3 penalties.
Is it there where their players came to execute the ball with unnecessary antics and finesse? Finesse that you yourself is not part of you. You are trying to finesse something that is not part of you.
What's that all about?
The keeper made 3 saves. Oh.
Yep.
The Sunderland keeper, he made 3 saves.
Look at Beto.
Beto is praying.
This guy, man.
At least he can have a bit of comfort that he didn't miss. I mean, there were 2 other misses before him. So if he had missed, if he had scored,
the
harm
had already been done.
The harm had already been done. Look, it is shocking. It is shocking.
I mean,
and I'm surprised. Just a minute. This is David Moyes' team.
Yeah.
For such an experienced manager, he selected to go and take a penalty. You don't do these things, oh.
In fact, even David Moyes these days, he's changing his ways small.
Because at
those
first,
days, David Moyes, he won't be messing with these
letting Barnes
strikers.
and Co. They will just go smash it in, move.
He used to like old school players. This way, he's refined a little. Like, he's come to like players with a little flair, flamboyance. Likes to play some youngsters here and there. I don't know, man. But yeah, Sunderland are through to the next round of the competition. Let me just update you on some of the scores so far from the FA Cup. There are a couple of games to come. So Cheltenham, like I said, have lost 2-0 to Leicester. Sunderland have beaten Everton on penalties. Macclesfield knocked out Crystal Palace 2-1 is how that game ended. And if you think that Crystal Palace did not feature a good team, well, you are kind of right. They rotated their team somewhat, but still a lot of their good guys played. Gehi, Yeremi Pino, Sosa, Wharton were all in the mix, but they still lost the game. You have Wolves thrashing Shrewsbury by 6-1. A lot for their confidence. That's a big result for them. Boreham Wood and Burton just kicked off. Burnley and Millwall also just kicked off. Doncaster, Southampton just kicked off. Fulham, Middlesbrough just kicked off as well. Ipswich, Blackpool, Manchester and Exeter just kicked off as well. You have Newcastle, Bournemouth also kicking off right now. That's an all Premier League tie. We have Sheffield Wednesday and Brentford also just kicking off. Stoke Coventry is up. We will have Charlton versus Chelsea. So Liam Rosinia will be in action today with his team. That's an 8 p.m. game. There's also another all Premier League game in Tottenham and Aston Villa. So there's that to also chew on. Thomas Frank is under intense pressure. Star player Kudus is injured long term. It's not looking good at Spurs. But let's now get into the...
just a quick one with the Man City bit. Pep Guardiola yesterday after the announcement of Antoine Semenyo signing said that Antoine Semenyo will be selected for today's game against Exeter City at 3 p.m. But he didn't state whether he will start or he will come off the bench. But he said Antoine Semenyo will be part of the squad. So we are
big
hoping to see if
we'll touch on Semenyo a little bit later on in the show. But let's take a break here on the Republic of Football. When we come back, we'll get into more updates from around Europe. We'll get into that Man United.
He's actually starting.
Yeah. We'll get into so Antoine Semenyo is starting. You heard it here on the Republic of Football. We'll get into the United conversation. Looks like they are juggling options of Carrick and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
They are not serious.
They're
Non-serious people.
We'll talk about that when we come back. Stay with us here on the show. We'll build up to the AFCON round of 16 games as well. Lots to chew on the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
When the pain is too much, don't know what else to do. So rapping on, we'll take the pain away. Rapping on, Rapinol is what you need. Rapinol will relieve you of all aches and pain in your body. Rheumatic pain, menstrual pain, body pain, toothaches, and other feverish conditions. Rapinol is a quality product from Danex iTunes Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. Not suitable for children below 16 years old, asthmatic, and ulcer patients. This advert is FDA approved.
give you a shoulder to lie on. Would we seek out to banky baby? No lie, only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't me here the date. I'm a busy person, me no many time to wait. Now you got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilling, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do, I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank. In Ghanaian parlance, Agrobesa, every anapa. To wit, if the festival will be entertaining, it starts from the morning. If 2026 will be amazing, it will very much depend on what we do in January. We bring you the Effective Living Series 2026 on 97.3 Citi FM with different weekly themes. Week 1, know where you want to go. Week 2, develop a plan to get there. Week 3, build capacity to get there. Week 4, take charge and soar. Tune in to 97.3 Citi FM to get a good head start on 2026. The Effective Living Series 2026 airs every weekday in January at 9:15 a.m. prompt, only on 97.3 Citi FM. The Effective Living Series is sponsored by Petra and Hallmark Freight and Consultancy Ghana Limited.
City 97.3.
Accra.
Welcome back. Benjamin Nketia here. You're live on 97.3 Citi FM. It's the Republic of Football. Just gone by FA Cup action. Sunderland knocking out Everton Football Club. The 3 p.m. batch of matches have kicked off. AFC Bournemouth are up at St. James's Park taking on Newcastle United. There's also Manchester City up against Exeter City. It's Ghana's Antoine Semenyo starting for Manchester City in this game. I'm sure Pep is trying to give him a feel of what things feel like here. Coach, you were sharing a few thoughts on Semenyo before we went on. Lots of people have been skeptical about his ability to lock down a permanent starting spot in this team, and probably generally how effective or how best he can excel. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, in this Man City team, to be honest with you, I think there are only 3 positions in this team that is locked down by the players there. One is the goalkeeper, Donnarumma.
Yeah.
2 is the striker, Erling Haaland. And then 3 is, of course, Rodri when he's fit. These are the only 3 lockdowns. Nobody there has a permanent position. But on form, and from the way opponents will usually normally approach games against Man City, I want the Ghanaian to go in there and command a regular position. Because I mean, I've seen Pep Guardiola bench a player of England who he spent close to 50-something million pounds on, saying he was just not good enough for his quality of player that he needed in that department. So it is not home and dry yet, as we see. Of course, who are they playing against?
Exeter.
Exeter. Yeah, I'm a few cornered beef. Exeter be. Many team so you must be able to start.
Exeter City.
You understand?
FC.
But again, Semenyo has got the quality to be part of this team in big games. But my worry is that because most of the opponent of Man City tend to play a medium low block, Semenyo is not the type of player who will thrive when there's no space. He needs the space in behind the opponent to be able to work for the ball or to be able to impact. This season, look at the goals he scored. Almost all the goals he scored
He had to run on
are goals where he had to pick the ball and carry the ball. His recent goal, I think until last, the one he scored at Old Trafford. Look at where he was given the pass from. Look at where he picked the ball from, all the way into the net. We saw the goals he scored at Anfield. Very brilliant goals. Now, in a situation where the opponent is so designed per tactics that they don't create space or they don't make spaces for you, it means you have to be very, very, very innovative technically. You need to be able to do things a bit differently to get your opponent to open up. I don't think he's that type of player. I really do want him to succeed. I pray Pep has a clear way of trying to use him to bring the best out of him and to make sure he have a positive impact on this game. There you go. He's overcrowded. He's what? Dispossessed. But if it is a 1v1 where he has to pick the ball and run, he gets that. He has the ability to do so. A Doku would have been going past those players. So it's a good move, but it's a move that I'm one of those who is very well skeptical about. Because I have said that this manager, he gives you the chance to prove yourself. Semenyo used to play for Bournemouth. A team that has got no pressure for playing for. And a team that will always want to go out there and express themselves. And usually, most of the opponent of Bournemouth will not come and sit off them. They will go toe-to-toe with them. And therefore, spaces were created. So if your technical ability and your the way you have carved yourself as a player, like Semenyo has, where it will allow him to attack the open spaces and run at the defenders, then he will thrive under such situation. But like I'm saying, if you want to actually cement your position in this team, then you have to maximize the chances when they come your way. If Pep can bench an English player, an English first choice midfielder, he's capable of doing it to anybody. He's very capable of doing it to anybody. So the form that
he has shown
to get here, he cannot drop that level. He either up his level or he gets dropped from the bench. To be honest with you,
at least probably maintain.
Goal.
So 1-0, Manchester City have taken the lead in this game. And look, who's that youngster? One of them, young chaps for Manchester City. They look like they have a lot of them these days. So it's 1-0.
The academy is filled with and it's packed with a lot of talent.
Yeah.
But I'm on the opposite side of what coach said. Look, Ghanaians should understand this. Pep Guardiola's teams over the years, particularly in the English Premier League, when he came to Manchester City, is full of constant rotation, with the exception of Rodri, with the exception of, in this present squad, as they are currently built, with the exception of Haaland, with the exception of Rodri, with the exception of Donnarumma, all the others, they are rotated. All the players, they are rotated. Be it Josco Vardio, be it Ruben Diaz, be it Matheus Nunes,
everybody, literally.
So all of them.
Maybe Ruben Diaz locks down permanent place most of the time when he's healthy.
Even him, sometimes, even when he's healthy, they start John Stones ahead of him. So we should never fit. So we should never. So we should understand that Antoine Semenyo is not going to be playing constantly, but he'll be playing consistently. That's what Ganesh we should really be looking at. That he isn't going to be playing constantly, but he's going to be playing consistently. That's the thing. And on top of that, he fits this team, this new style of Pep Guardiola, because, like I said in the article I wrote some time back, I think it was Boxing Day 2025, projecting how Antoine Semenyo fits into this Man City team. This Man City team, this season, they have scored more goals on fast breaks or on breaks than they did transition plays than they did in the 2022-2023 season and 2024-2025 season combined.
Wow.
Combined. And when you look at Antoine Semenyo's profile as a player, it fits this model perfectly. It fits this model perfectly. And it fits also because the technical players, they are there in the midfield. So they will create the openings because of their ability to beat a man just like that without needing any space. Even in the tightest of space, you know Ryan Shaki can just use one touch of the ball, first touch, and be able to create space for himself. Phil Foden, the same. Their technical quality is off the charts. Tijani Reinders, he can do same with his ability to stretch the play, with his verticality and ability to progress the ball from the middle. That means that you have a situation where the defense will be collapsing towards the middle because they have way too many ball jugglers and technicians. And in that sense, you have enough space for Antoine Semenyo to do his work or to do his magic. And so I see him being able to fit fine in this Pep Guardiola team. I mean, and on top of that, yes, you look at the competition, Jeremy Doku and company. But you look at Jeremy Doku, for instance. Yes, in terms of dribbling ability, I mean, Antoine Semenyo doesn't come close to Jeremy Doku. But here's the deal. We saw that, was it last season? Even when we went out for, back in the day, the road shows. It was Liverpool and Man City. Remember, one of our last road shows that we went to. Doku beat Trent Alexander-Arnold on 12 one-on-one situations. But in the end, what was the end product? Nothing. His crossing ability was poor. He couldn't find his man. But you look at Antoine Semenyo, for instance, his crossing ability is on point. And on top of that, he can definitely shoot at goal. To either score, we've seen him working on his shooting technique in the off-season. And it's paying dividends this season. He can score from that range. And he can, even if he doesn't score, he can get a shot on target and force the goalkeeper to punch the ball out. Second chance opportunity pops up. And then a teammate can tuck in the second chance opportunity or the rebound. And so, in that sense, I see him being able to fit fine in this Manchester City team. And the fact that he can play across the front line. He can play as a false nine. He can play as a right winger. He can play as a left winger. I mean, he fits. And so, for me, he will find consistent minutes. That's what I'm looking out for. Not he constantly playing. There will be several games, multiple games where he won't play. Not because his form is bad, not because he is not good enough, but because it's just the Pep Guardiola way. Even from his time at Barcelona, it was just a few players who were the constants. And those players, they are all-timers, more or less.
Yeah.
Aside those players, the rest, they rotate them constantly.
Let's see how the Semenyo episode will go. You want to make a point?
just the person playing, I think, right wing, Ryan McAdoo.
Yeah.
I think it's a forward position, but Ryan McAdoo, he signed for City last year. Apparently, he's eligible to represent Ghana through his friends. So
Ket has reached there. I'm sure Ket has linked him already. Relax.
So if we can just keep an eye out for his performance.
Ket is in control.
Control of what?
Have you seen your good friend this New Year? Have you heard from him?
Oh, he's enjoying in Morocco.
Yes, in Morocco.
He's
Yeah,
working.
He saw him. He's enjoying.
He's working with Motse.
The blast at his home. He's there.
No,
He's having some good time.
Yeah,
Yesterday you saw him.
vice
Yes,
president.
vice president.
But what got him there?
Second vice.
Yeah.
What got him there is the Ghana footballers by virtue of the fact that
He's working.
He's the president of the Ghana football. That's why he's there.
It's okay.
I think his body.
Our national found and he's there enjoying.
He's working. He's working.
Are you? He should enjoy.
Anyway.
So personal benefit.
Anyway.
National disgrace.
Don't don't do this. Ket is working for Cap. Don't do that.
Is working.
Anyway, let me read a few more messages and then I will get into some other stuff. Charlie, this one. Somebody's asking for Nimli's email address, Joe Milo. I'm sure I will consult with him and see if he can have it or not. So I'll find it out in a bit. Joseph Orlando Yaboa says, Ole in United forever. Greetings to you guys. Okay. we'll talk about that. Let's get into that conversation right about now. Meanwhile, that Man City game is 18 minutes old. It's 1-0 advantage Man City. Newcastle Bournemouth is still goalless. Antoine Semenyo's old team goalless in that game. I'll be giving you more updates. I'll head to the rest of Europe also in a bit. But let's talk about United and their coaching situation. Let me stick with you, Coach, on that one. So like I said, Ruben Amorim has left the job. United say they will likely make a decision before their FA Cup game, I believe it is tomorrow. They will make a decision on that. But so far, Darren Fletcher is the caretaker boss currently, but they are looking for an interim manager to hold the role for the season. Ole, Carrick, Amorim gone, namely.
Look, I was at work.
Okay.
It took one of my papa, who was a stout Manchester United supporter, to call me just after a class. Said that he heard on a certain radio station that
Marty.
Amorim has been sacked. I said, no, it's not true. He said, I should check. Then he said, I should check. Then I said, he should give me just 1 minute. I will verify.
Yeah.
So quickly, I went to my X page. I went to Fabrizio. And I saw the news.
The news had dropped.
Breaking news.
Here we go.
Amorim sacked.
Here we go.
Oh, man.
I couldn't believe it. So immediately, I just went back and called him and said, hey, whatever you told me is confirmed, though, it's true. Then his next question was, why would they do that? So I started asking myself, is it that the players were not playing for him? Is it that the players have lost confidence in him? Or what exactly is the problem? So we have to now go and start reading some few narratives from the UK. And fundamentally, the reason for which Amorim was sacked is because he stood up for his identity and he stood up against Mr. Wilcox and Mr. Barada. I love this manager simply because of one thing. He said, I will not bend my identity. When United went 4 at the back to beat Newcastle, he told everyone that it is not about the system and it's not about the tactics. But he believed that the players at the time showed great desire to win. From several winning positions this season, Manchester United have failed to control football game to see it beyond the finish line. Most of the difficult games that United have failed to win have been simply because they don't know how to control football games. They've not got the players to do so. What are those players? He said Garnacho got sold, Rashford left, Anthony left, and then Rasmus Haaland left. Jadon Sancho, 5. So 5 registered attacking players all left the team.
Did he play no part in them leaving the team?
No, but these were players who were all already
almost all on their way out.
They were on their way out. Sancho, what sort of life has he lived?
Sancho was on his way out.
As you
United have
Yeah,
no
but most of these players were on their way out because of Amorim.
No.
Oh, it started from Ten Hag.
It started from Ten Hag.
Look at Sancho.
Sancho was
I can say the only player that I would
Sancho is
say
fair.
the only player that I would say left the club because of Amorim would be what?
Rashford.
No, Rashford.
No, Rashford. Rashford started
Garnacho.
under Ten Hag.
Who?
Garnacho.
Yeah.
He's the only player. He's the only player.
I
Anthony,
don't think he fancied Højlund.
No,
and
let me tell you.
Rashford. I don't think.
At the end of the day, somebody like Anthony, even the manager that bought Anthony kept him on the bench for close to a season. Anthony was loaned out under who? Under Ten Hag. Then if you go to Jadon Sancho, the manager who even thought that he was having some psychological issue, gave him a free holiday in Holland, paid for his medicals and a physiotherapy. That manager even got him loaned out. Rashford's character of being an untouchable, lack of solid performances on the pitch, meant that he was always going to go. And the United hierarchy at the time was
Anthony was under Amorim. Just
what I'm saying is that
He said
I'm saying that
Anthony went on
their
loan under Ten Hag.
exit,
he went on loan under Amorim.
and I'm saying that
okay.
their
but
exit was not initiated by. How many times
Not
did you not sit
initiated,
here and condemn that Anthony is not performing under the manager who bought
Which
him?
is fair, but
And so the point I'm making is that at the end of the day, the United hierarchy wanted Anthony sold, wanted Rashford sold, wanted Jadon Sancho sold, wanted Rashford Holland sold.
that's where I agree with that slightly. I appreciate the fact that they were willing to accommodate Amorim if Amorim wanted them sold.
No.
Or he couldn't integrate them back into their team.
No.
But no, from their perspective, they just spent 100 million on Anthony. 2-3 years later, okay, he's not performing well. I don't think they were. If the manager could find a way to put him in their system,
Look,
they would take him to
Barada
Betis for
said-
22 million.
Barada, when he took over the job,
So just a quick update. Manchester City have scored a second goal.
Rodri scored it.
Rodri with a goal, so 2-0.
you see, Barada said that the new Manchester United way of doing things, if you stayed in this club and you couldn't perform within 2 years, you should be getting ready to exit. So it was not about Amorim. And when Amorim was coming, he told them, I'm a 3-4-2-1 coach. The team you've got there is not suited for that system. So if I'm the one you want, let me finish my job at Sporting Lisbon for this season, and I'll come and take over the job. They insisted that we will back you and make sure you play your 3-4-2-1 system. But rather, we prefer that you come and take over the job now, so that you use the current crop of players and determine who can fit into the system or not. Those who cannot fit, we ship them out and they will back you in the transfer market. The Manchester United problem to be solved is not a one-window transfer problem. So like I was saying, if you look at the attacking players that left the team, Rashford, Jadon Sancho, Anthony, Rasmus Holland, there was the fifth person, I've forgotten. Okay? Now you give the man a transfer window. He buys Matthias Cunha. He buys Brian Mbeumo. He buys a solid goalkeeper, 22, 23-year-old boy. But if this is the way he's going to go, clearly without a doubt, he's the Manchester United goalkeeper for the next 12 to 15 years.
Oh, Chale.
I'm telling you.
Lomens.
I've got Lomens. I saw the hair when he came. I saw what he did. Very similar to what Lomens is doing. So that also should be made clear. Last season, after 19 games, Man United were 13th or 14th in the league. This season, after 19 games, United were 6th in the league. You said you've got 65 million pounds to spend on Antoine Semenyo. Amorim say yes, he's a player I like. But the moment Semenyo chose Man City over United, Amorim then went back and said, look, I need a midfield. Then look at Wilcox and then Barada explanation. But you could have allowed us to buy a midfield in the summer. But you sanctioned the move for Šeško. Šeško came to replace Rasmus Holland. You sanctioned the move for Matthias Cunha. He came to replace Marcus Rashford. You sanctioned the move for Brian Mbeumo or Mbeumo. He came to replace what? Alejandro Garnacho. Even you've not replaced Anthony yet in terms of numbers. So you've not done anything extraordinary. Let me then say, let's say Anthony was replaced by what? Dogu. So you've not done anything, no. There's difference between replacing a player in the team and making the team stronger and better. based on added word quality.
Agreed.
So every player that came into this Manchester team under Amorim was meant to replace a player who had exited. Look at Manchester United midfield. Casemiro, Manuel Ugarte, Kobe Menu, very lazy player. Technically good, but very lazy. He doesn't cover the ground. And then Bruno Fernandes. United has got only 4 midfielders. Only 4 midfielders. Casemiro, his legs are gone. Ugarte still hasn't found his feet. Kobe Menu, the least said about him in that 3-4-2-1 system, the better. No coach in his right senses will bench Bruno Fernandes in this Manchester team, irrespective of the system you choose to play. Now the manager starts the season. Manuel, I want you to, if you can, pull out the XG of Manchester United in per the league. What is the position of the team? It comes to XG. Performance-wise, they are among the top 5. Chances created, they are among the top 5. Goals scored, they are among the top 5. Compare that to last season. Man United scored a total of what? 44 goals. As we speak, after 20 games, how many goals have they scored? You see, when you are analyzing the thing, this is the way you need to analyze improvement. But Barada and Wilcox and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, are they since correct when they think that from placing 15th in the league, you should go and win the league, or you should automatically go and then occupy a Champions League slot with the same players? I challenge anybody who thinks that Matthias Cunha has not improved Manchester United. I challenge anybody who thinks that Brian Mbeumo has not made Man United better.
Well, I have a goal for you, so just hold your horses there. Looks like Newcastle have scored against AFC Bournemouth. Sandro Tonali. He hasn't scored. I think they in a little tussle over there for a corner kick. So it's still goalless in that game. Yeah.
Benjamin Sesko, I believe, will come good. He's a young boy, 22 years. His impact in the Manchester United way of playing is clear for everybody to see. So the team under Amorim had shown good progress. In my view, somebody could differ. Now, at the end of the day, if you are to replace a manager, you don't replace a manager who comes to you and say that, give me players. What was the outcome of the meeting? Amorim told them that he believes United will finish in the Champions League spot. So they should give him at least one midfield. We all know the target is Carlos Nunkwemo Baleba. Baleba, the Brighton people, they are not ready to sell in January. So let's get somebody who will just give us the legs in the Manchester United. Biggest problem in midfield is the lack of the Casemiro.
When they give Ugarte the chance to play, he doesn't
deliver.
Just on the XG thing, United are second on XG this season, just behind Man City. So they have 36 goals, and they are exceeding their XG.
Look, chances created there.
They are exceeding their XG by
2.3. So they have 36, but the combined XG for the season will be 38.3.
Yeah, because they miss a lot of chances.
That's interesting.
The football has improved. And when I watch Manchester United play tactically, how I wish we have Baleba in midfield. Because Nunkwemo would have stabilized the midfield. No, if I stabilize Casemiro after 15 minutes, we have bread tom or who makes a pufu. And so emumosheshi Otedo ebe ya me da se Otedo Anytime he's substituted, when the camera falls on him, you can buy the room now oxygen. Oh,
Now they don't do that to Casemiro.
I'm telling you,
Don't do this.
that is football for you. Otero. Kobe Menu too, he comes into the game and then he thinks he shouldn't work.
Kobe, Iniesta, Menu.
Look at that.
Flamboyant Kobe.
You need to work.
First touch Kobe.
He never puts in the tackle. He never.
Technically gifted Kobe.
He never
Charlie,
does that.
Kobe says he wants to leave. He wants to play in the World Cup.
No, look.
He says United
in
is
fact,
sabotaging his
he's one of the reasons why the manager has been sacked.
Oh yeah, true.
So again, these people, they've backed a young up and coming boy whose future you cannot guarantee against the manager. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player. But there's so many elements to his game that I don't like. He doesn't work. He thinks he's Iniesta. He thinks he's Xavi Hernandez. Very sluggish in possession. When he loses the ball, he walks. No coach will tolerate that. The Wilcox, Barada, Jim Ratcliffe, Amelie Amaniloy, they are liars.
That's well
Because
established.
they lied to the manager. They lied to him. Only for them to now eclipse him. The three of them, we are told, eclipse him and tell that change your tactics. God bless the day Amorim told them boldly in the face. Is it that 3-4-3 or that 3-4-2-1? I will never change it. So you either back me or you sack me. When Amorim came to the press conference, he said, I was brought here to be the manager of Manchester United. Everybody stay in your lane and do your job.
After that press, I knew he was gone.
Yes, because the meeting had gone on and he has stood up to them and he kept telling them, look, stay, if you are a scout, do your scouting work. If you are this, do your work. If you are administrator, do your work. Leave me and let me manage my team. Bring me the players I've requested for. How can you go and pay Porto that amount of Sporting Lisbon, that amount of money, put him on a very lucrative contract, and not even Ten Hag, you people backed him, supported him. Ten Hag had how many windows? Yeah, number 3, there are 4 windows.
Ten Hag was at United for what, 2.5 years?
2.5 years.
So he had at
Yeah,
least three windows.
Yes.
November 2024 was.
If you add the January one there, he had close to 5 windows. 5 windows.
Buying.
Amorim, if you add January, he's had only 2 windows.
Ten Hag nearly bought you Brian Brobe.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Oh my goodness.
So you do this, and you couldn't look at the progress of the. Then just say the most useless part of it is that you are thinking about going to bring back who?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Oh,
That's
the
the
baby
At the wheel.
He's at the wheel.
He's at the wheel.
Face assassin.
Look, these people,
my God.
they are not serious.
That's the
family.
problem. That's the biggest problem.
4 years ago, you gave this man £10 million free to go and chop. You paid him off £10 million plus pounds.
After a
Ole,
second
and
place
yet,
finish.
look, I remember Liao Ekaya. I remember only at Watford.
Yeah.
Osunde Akola. Already the face is baby face.
Baby face.
But he was
assassin.
crying.
Oh, Charlie.
Now the day Harry Maguire got sent off, you remember?
Yeah, I remember the Watford game. Yeah.
And then just, the players were just not into Ole.
He cares about the club.
Rubbish caring. Rubbish caring.
Apparently, so
Easy
there's
as
also
it
the
is.
bit that apparently he lives in Manchester and he has a house in
What does
Chelsea.
that have to do with coaching?
So he knows the team.
He
He knows their food. He knows their culture.
He knows the Manchester
He
United.
knows which culture.
He knows the Manchester.
Does he know? Does he not know?
He's
the
not
culture?
He doesn't know the culture.
He has worked with Sir Alex.
He's
and
not
he has worked with
He's not my trauma
He was crying. You saw him. I saw him cried.
He has the Manchester United
Look,
DNA.
at Watford,
that thing.
United
when I see
was
it, I don't get it. The Man United DNA. The Man United DNA.
But he has it.
Man United DNA. It is
Even,
attacking
he
football.
understands the importance
Okay.
of academy players
good.
like Meno
Yeah.
to the fan base.
It's good about Amorim promoted Fletcher's twins from the academy, Man United
I
academy.
No, see,
Yeah, but whether they are
he
not good, it's a
understands
different
the
ball
DNA.
game.
No, that is the Man United DNA. But and it's attacking football. But attacking football, then they should go ahead and hire Ange Postecoglou.
Yes,
This is how they react. So even with when they sacked Moyes, they brought in Giggs.
You let me finish. Let me finish my point. Like, you sack Amorim, go and bring coach. You are thinking about Solskjaer and Michael Carrick
in 2026.
In 2026.
Oh.
And you've got no ambition.
Michael Carrick is still unbeaten as a manager. He's managed for
and according to the reports I'm reading about him, they say they like how he's carried himself in the media. How he's carried himself around Carrington, and it looks like a good number of the players already have some rapport.
So we're talking Fletcher or Carrick?
Fletcher. Yeah, they say they're happy with how Fletcher has conducted himself.
So now they don't want Carrick, they don't want Ole.
I think they are juggling all those.
And the way I understand the Ole one is Ole will come and be the manager.
Which manager?
And then how they call it? Fletcher does more of the tactics.
I beg you, you want somebody to be Ole manager, somebody who could cry in front of the team. He cried.
Mind you, John Evans is also part of the technical team.
He's also part.
John Evans
it's not family and friends team we are doing.
Yes. No, he understands the club. He scored a winning goal in 1999.
It's like when the Nana Akufo-Addo government, friends, families and friends.
Don't do this.
Mami can't. No, me can't credit at Chabu. Now, only go to social. He knows who.
He understands what.
Mami come and Semenyo before. What is that?
Understand the food, the culture. Understands the
culture. He understands the dancing.
In the words of Kurt, he's not Matra Makwe.
He's absolute Matra Makwe.
And look what happened. Look what happened. What happened after that?
He cried.
No, but
listen, he cried. I saw him cry.
Even when he was sacked, apparently they had to. Keane had to drive for 6 hours to come and console.
Yeah, to console him. Osunda me, mama.
Are you kidding me? Right
I'm
now?
telling you,
because he loves
when he came to the Rock, the Gary Neville and Rakim so-called podcast. Osui. Missy Osui. Only your pam no Osui. You coaching Konkai. You obo your coaching is not good. Still, you want to coach Manchester United. It's not about. It's about being able to do the job.
I mean, he finished second and got to Europa League final. I'm not saying that he was the best manager ever.
The more you say thirsty, the more you irritate me.
Don't do that.
Because Manuel, will you keep Solskjaer at Liverpool? Manuel, will you keep Solskjaer at Liverpool? Good question. Will you?
He doesn't understand Liverpool. He understands.
Forget about the understand. Me, I'm a Tiaka. I understand Manchester.
Let me ask you something, right? In the spirit of all this Solskjaer, Fletcher, Carrick business, you didn't want Amorim fired. Granted, he's gone. Have you? I mean, in the last couple of days, thought about who your ideal replacement for him would be?
No, my ideal solution is that they will not make Champions League football.
Oh,
yes.
So that what?
Because if they, you see, now that they have sacked Amorim, they've got no intention whatsoever to add a midfielder to the team. I'm looking beyond. Whoever you bring, add what is needed to the playing body.
Why don't you think though? I mean, if they can see the problem, the window is still open.
Yes, but as we speak, you're on top of this game. I'm on top of the game. Man United are not talking. They are not talking to any midfielder. Look, they have been offered the English boy at Atletico Madrid, the former Chelsea player Gallagher. I don't trust him. I don't think he's technically good.
If you want a controller and a technically good
you
player,
don't go for
if you sell my
they should go and get the boy, the Portuguese boy, the one playing in the Saudi league. That Ruben Neves boy, or what's the name?
Ruben Neves.
He's a controller.
Al Hilal.
Formerly of
he's Al Hilal.
Formerly of
in the Club World Cup.
He's a controller. He detects game. He sets the tempo of game. How much money do they want? 15 million pounds. He's 28 years.
They want just 15 million for
15 million, of course, but the contract is going. It's expiring.
To be fair.
Well, but his wages will not be cheap.
No, but if he's coming,
anyone coming from the Saudi, I think appreciates that you won't get.
There's going to be a wage cut, and he wants to come back to you.
Plus, for 15 million, you can give him the wages.
You can give him the wages he wants. You bring him. He gives you close to 4 years.
But that would be a brilliant signing.
Super signing. And Amorim told them that if you don't want to bring Baleba now. Because you
get me Ruben at
get me Ruben,
and if you get Baleba to pair with Ruben in future,
Ache, baby, Ache.
It's like United don't. It's like rival. The things rival fans don't want United to do.
So
Barada,
what is it? Barada. Hey, we guye team no from Man City. I don't know who to, this man said these are the best in class. These are the best in disgrace and in value. Barada, Wilcox, all of them. And you call this best in class? What is best in class about these people? You can't see that United don't have a midfield. You can't see this. You cannot see.
I mean, just the person who would have been in charge of that primarily would have been Dan Ashworth. And it's just very weird how they waited about 6 months. When they signed, they couldn't get him from Newcastle. They had a whole waiting period. And then
they sacked him.
I mean, his problem is I think he didn't want them to have Amorim. I think he...
No, he's not serious. He wanted Saltgate. Me like a Saltgate. Saltgate.
And everybody looks like the United backroom. No, a lot of individuals have their own agenda. Let's wrap it up and then we'll get into the AFCON conversation.
I have an issue with the whole hierarchy and how they handle this Ruben Amorim thing, because Ten Hag's first year, he came in, he won 2 trophies, and then you said, okay, the way he's too strict or too stringent with his tactics, he should be flexible. Then he started making changes, and people were pissed with it. They weren't happy with it, and so they sacked him. And then you said Gary Neville and co. They were like, "Oh, you need to have your identity. You need to stick to your philosophy." Then you go in and bring in a manager, and everyone was backing him that, okay, this is a manager who would insist on playing his system, and that if the players don't fall in line with the system, they will be ousted.
And you getting players to
they'll be ousted.
Yeah.
And then, so why is it that there's all of a sudden a U-turn? That's, oh, can you tinker with your formation a little bit? How does that work? How does that work?
They don't have money.
How does that work?
They don't have money.
At the end of the day, we had an agreement before you signed me that this is how I'm going to play. This is how I want my team to play. And you were okay with it. You even went ahead and bought me out of my contract.
They paid Porto money.
Sporting Lisbon. You went ahead and bought me out of my contract to come and play my system or my way. And at the end of the day, yes, my first season, which I didn't start because I came in midway, and the players I wanted, I didn't get a chance to work with the players I wanted. Now you've given me the full off season that I need. I brought in players who have come in and are giving you direct results, immediate results.
Yeah.
With the exception of Zegzi, all of the signings have been good.
He didn't buy Zegzi.
Thank you.
Zegzi is a Ten Hag.
Ten Hag signing. Exactly. You get it. So they are making progress. And so because you are not you want to flex your muscles.
I mean,
and you so because you want to flex your muscles, you direct him that he should change his 3-4-3 system, and he says no, I'm sticking to that because that's what we agreed on at the time you wanted to get me. Then because of that, you are pissed and what you let him go. I don't get it. And even if you want him to go, because let's say because you've dropped some points, some key points against lowly ranked teams like Leeds United, like Wolverhampton Wanderers. Then that Everton game, yes, they were down by 10 men. Everton were down by 10 men for a very long time. And some way, somehow, Man United lost that game. Yes, it's true. Man United, pay all the points that they've dropped in recent weeks, they should be ranked third.
Yes.
In the league. Yes, I get it. It's very frustrating. They should be ranked third and not, seventh now. It's very frustrating. I get it. But at the end of the day, if you are going to sack him because of that, what is the alternative? Is the alternative Solskjaer? Is the alternative Michael Carrick?
Or Fletcher?
You see, it doesn't mesh. Like, you are going to sack this manager. You are going to sack this manager. Okay, what is the alternative? Your alternative, and you are looking at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah.
If your alternative was bringing in maybe someone like Zidane, fine. If your alternative was bringing in maybe someone like
Inzaghi
and Postecoglou. For Inzaghi, he's not coming because he's getting good money at Al Hilal.
Yeah.
Let's say Ange Postecoglou, I'll be fine with it. But you are sacking him and you are looking at bringing in Solskjaer, Carrick, Fletcher. Like, how does this work? That tells me that you don't have a clear plan, and everything is haphazard, and that is not a good thing. Because wait till the season ends, and if those key points that they've dropped, Man United have dropped against lowly ranked teams,
become decisive.
It becomes decisive, and it costs you the Champions League.
a qualification to the Champions League, then you act. So why then do you pull the trigger mid-season?
Go and buy one midfielder, 50 million.
Ruben
Neves, 50 million. Ruben Neves. Let him come and say, okay, if you won't give me Carlos Baleba, I agree. He's a long-term signing. Yeah. But we need to make the Champions League. That is £100 million investment right there. You qualify for the Champions League, you make £100 million for qualifying. Go to the man I've spoken to. He's my countryman. He's a good player. He understands this league. He wants to play for me. Go and give them 50 million. Negotiate a contract. Ruben Neves, when he was at Wolverhampton, he was not even taking £30,000 a week. You give him 150, 180,000, 200,000, he will accept. Let him come and play. He can play for the next 4 years. Good top level football. Ruben Neves. You say no. The coach will adjust his tactics. Which adjustment of tactics? Walcox, Barada, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Have you adjusted your money?
Heated on the United discussion. Please finish for me. I need to talk about AFCON real quick. We have a game coming up.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing that sticks out to me is also, I think the ownership, like you said, has to come in for some questioning. My view on the Barada and talking to Amorim about his formation is most of this was actually coming directly from the owner, Jim Ratcliffe, who just didn't communicate it directly to Amorim. And you notice this thing with people who are outside football. I mean, he likes football, but he's not the football. They make very simple observations that look on paper like they should work. Like, oh, the team is not winning. Why don't you just try changing the formation without necessarily
it's not that easy,
the complexities of it? But because he's a billionaire and he has power at the club, whatever he says is probably what's going to become the norm. So, but he also, I don't think he's been as successful with ownerships. So Ineos have a number of hardcore organizations that they own. I think since they came into Mercedes in F1, they're now 1/3 owner. They haven't done as well as they used to. And he owns OGC Nice. And they haven't also done really well. The running of them too has been very iffy. So it's just
the track record is not
the track record is not good. He even came into a cycling team, and he wasn't able to make that happen well. So I'm just wondering if at some point, obviously there's not going to be any accountability because he owns and he makes the final decisions for the club. But at some point, to the whole, even though the problem with them was the Glazers and how the Glazers,
I think United fans will protest again.
No, but the problem is they got what they wanted. They wanted the Glazers not to have full. I mean, they wanted the Glazers out entirely, but they wanted the Glazers not to have full ownership.
They replaced the Glazers with somebody very close to
the
Glazers.
United supporter supported Jim Ratcliffe to buy some percentage of the club.
I mean, they wanted Qatar, but that's what
they wanted. If you said Jim Ratcliffe was going to buy, pay the people and let them go.
No, but they have no reason to also sell the club.
No, but nobody told them that they should put them. See, they made three options. Either outright sale, partnership, or not for sale. So if you do, if Jim Ratcliffe, if he claims that he's a true supporter of Manchester United, he doesn't have the money to pay the people off. The people that the supporters don't want. You go and you connive with them. You are in bed with them.
So as for the United ownership, there,
you are in bed with them.
It's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's even worse off. So you should have left the Glazers.
I'm telling you.
Look, truth be told, if Amorim was employed by the Glazers, they would have given him the money to go and buy the players.
True.
Didn't you see the Glazers spend money?
True.
The Glazers' biggest problem is that they didn't have a structure to manage the club. But when it came to spending of money,
they never had problems.
They were spending the money.
Bought Maguire for like 75
to 80 million. You go and bring this single digit billionaire, you leave him to manage the footballing aspect.
Let's talk about some AFCON. Meanwhile, you can send us your thoughts via text, WhatsApp, and Telegram. 0539 986 996 is the Republic of Football live here on 97.3 Citi FM. We are live on YouTube at Citi Sports GH, live on Twitter or X at Citi973, live on radio at Citi973 as well. On TV, we are on Channel 1 TV. Let's get into that AFCON game between Algeria and Nigeria. Lineups are out. I'll give you the lineups in a bit, and then I will tell you about some backstories and a few issues plaguing the teams heading into the game. So let's get into the starting lineup for this one. When you go to when you go to the side of Algeria, This is how they have lined up in this particular encounter. The only Ghana Association is doing a little victory lap on the side. Anyway, Algeria have Zidane in post. That's the young Zinedine Zidane's son, or Zinedine Zidane's younger son. He's a goalkeeper. Belgali is at right back. Mandi, Bensebaini, and Ryan Ainuri making up the back four. Interesting. Bensebaini is also a left back, but can play as centre back. So interesting. In the middle, they have Budawi and Zeruki, and then they have Chaibi and Maris on the wings. Maza and Amora will lead the line. When you go to the camp of Nigeria, my good friend Inwabali is in post for them. Osai Samuel and Ajayi, as well as Calvin Bassey and Onyemaichi making up the back four. In the middle, they keep the same team from the last round. Onyeka, Ndidi, and Iwobi. And up top, Lukman, Adams, and Victor Osimhen. That's the lineup for you. Now, building up to this game, Nigeria have a little bonus row going on. Now, the players threatened to boycott this game if their bonuses aren't paid. Now, it looks like a few hours to the game, there's still no official statement on whether those bonuses will be paid. And so, Nigeria captain and 30-year-old Wilfred Ndidi has promised to personally pay his teammates their outstanding winning bonuses if the government fails to deliver the funds as promised. So this is the stage at which Nigeria is. This is reported by ESPN with quotes from Nigerian journalist Oluwashina. So very concrete sources. Nigeria are back at it again. And this is even following their offensive player row on no triumph again and all those things that happened. Mano, Nigeria going to their biggest game in the tournament. They are plagued by lots of off-field issues. Can they shut out the noise to win this game?
I'm not sure. I like the point coach made last week when he was talking about how football is a game and anything can happen. But in order for anything to happen,
either for football to tell its own story,
for football to tell its own story, you need to put the right things in place. Looking at the Nigeria team, there's so much upheaval coming out of nowhere. When I saw the bonus news, I thought it cannot be real at this time.
with Ndidi pledging to pay the money,
everything that's going on, and you can see it on Ndidi. Like when he spoke after the Lukman thing, the way he's offering to pay for he is just trying to.
I thought that he's tired of all the.
And he's tired of everything that's happening. And he is a captain on I don't know. I wouldn't say whether it's sinking on a turbulent ship, and he was not even expecting to be there. This should be Truce Kong, who is handling all of these issues, who quickly retired and got himself. He's watching all this from afar, and now Ndidi, who hasn't had to be a national team captain, is learning very hard on the job. And so so far I think he's handled it well. But at some point, all these things have to come together. Maybe I don't know how some of these players are motivated. Maybe for them it can spur them on. And because they got to the final last year, maybe they are thinking that this is our year.
Yeah.
But all of the noise that is coming out of their camp just makes it especially when you haven't heard much from most of the other teams. Like you haven't heard something controversial from Morocco or from Algeria or. The
North Africans won't engage in money controversies. There will always be probably something else. Definitely no money. Money controversies.
They are
Ghana,
civilized.
Ghana,
They are civilized.
Cameroon.
No,
the conference. Ghana,
they are civilized.
Yes, don't do certain things.
Because at this level, why should money become an issue?
And even if those people have a bonus round money, it won't go public.
And the same thing they did before the DR Congo game. Before they went and they lost that game. Before they went to play and try and qualify for the World Cup. After all you've been through, nearly missing out on qualification, finally getting, because they weren't even supposed to be in the playoff. There was this last minute where the last teams were taken out of the group, and somehow Nigeria got in ahead of Benin. You are in a chance, you're about to play a World Cup qualifier, and the first thing that is on your mind is we haven't paid our bonuses.
Let me read a quote from their Minister of State for Finance, Dr. Doris Inkiruka Uzoka Anite. So Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, she says that the government and Central Bank of Nigeria have implemented changes to foreign exchange processing to prevent future payment disputes that have repeatedly plagued the country's senior national team.
Are you reading from Citi Sports?
This from ESPN actually.
Oh yeah. Well, I did that story.
So now she says that the federal government and central bank have successfully streamlined the foreign exchange processing to ensure players are rewarded without further delay. Now, the announcement came 2 days after the Super Eagles players threatened to boycott their training and their trip to Marrakech until they receive winning bonuses from 4 matches at the tournament. Group stage victories over Tanzania, Tunisia, and Uganda, plus their round of 16 triumph against Mozambique.
That's unfair. It's the same tournament. I was even assuming that maybe they hadn't been paid for the World Cup qualifier. The same tournament that you are in.
Yeah.
That you, because you haven't been paid
they
money,
know,
you are
and
not
they know
willing
how
to.
their officials are. So
But these people too, they take their monthly salary. When it comes to collecting
Nobody-
there's no government central bank renegotiation, nothing. Straight into the account. Now bears it, then they take. You see, the African people, some of our people, you don't just understand what is wrong with them.
yeah.
When somebody works, he or she deserves to be paid. These footballers, they don't. And look, and you know what? The winning bonuses to the Super Eagle, you know, it's far, far less than what we pay here as well.
Imagine, you don't say.
Oh yeah, they take like what 2,000,
2,000 per game.
Yeah, they take like 3,000, 2,000.
2,000 per game.
Stop.
No, I'm telling you,
They take way less. Oh,
they
Nigeria
take
takes
way less. We are paying $10,000 per
like
game.
3K or
I tell you,
something.
the charge
Ghana.
we are not serious.
Ghana.
The Nigerian Super Eagles, they are winning
More
bonus per game.
than oil-rich Nigeria.
I'm telling you, it's $2,000 per game. So are they telling us that $8,000 for 4 games per player? You cannot do it. Why is this becoming an issue?
I don't even understand.
Why?
I don't even understand.
I mean, at times it's a bit annoying, it's a bit disturbing.
And I think those are the things that get to the players.
Yeah, it's a bit-
because they know the kinds of monies that float around in their country.
Exactly.
So when these things become an issue,
And you know what? Most of these boys, when they take the money, they don't use it.
that's this to their
They give it
entourage.
back to their people.
Family, yeah. That's what happens.
They give it back to their people.
True.
You understand? And when it comes to how often would they show up? How often would they show
How
up?
often will you play at an AFCON?
I can bet my last person. There are ministers or there are government people in Nigeria who takes more than $2,000 every month.
Way more.
So why should somebody like Osime? Why should somebody like Iwobi be put in the situation to tell the whole country that if you don't pay us,
we won't play the game.
we won't play the game?
Now, Ndidi says that he says he will pay. He will
It's
pay the money.
disgraceful for Ndidi, an individual
Yeah.
who has got no
This is not his responsibility.
at all. Absolutely no reason why he should be so big as the captain of the team. Look, we've been in situations here in Africa where we had a player single-handedly taking care of his national team. At the time, it was reasonable. It made sense. Somebody like George Weah, when Liberia was torn into civil war, he personally funded the national team, took them everywhere they needed to go, paid for their plane fare, paid them winning bonuses. Nigeria is not a war-torn country. Nigeria has a president. They've got ministers of states. They've got CEOs, big men running that country. I mean, look, I think the least said about them, the better. Because of this, I really do want them to qualify. Before you know, if they qualify, the next winning bonus card will become a problem.
Facts. In fact, as at now, there's no clear path to if the government.
Because
the money.
the player has to what? Promise. The game has started, isn't it?
It has.
It has started.
Yeah. Let me take more thoughts on Algeria from your thoughts on the Algerian national. I don't know who you favor in this game, but Nigeria have had like a myriad of issues coming into this one. Algeria, though, we've not heard anything about them except footballing related stuff. So they have also presented a fairly solid side to play in this game. Who's your money on?
Oh yeah, my money is on Nigeria to win the game. But looking at the self implosion that some way somehow.
Hey, no more lines, my Agbebeshi.
They need to check him.
Yeah, some way somehow.
He's fine. I always worry about them when they fall.
The fact that Nigeria, like there's nothing going on, everything is going on well. Then some way somehow they self-sabotage themselves
Every time.
they end up not being able to really reach their potential.
Yep.
It's so shocking that this is the team that has scored the most goals at the AFCON. You've played 4 games, you scored 12 goals.
Statistically, they are having their best AFCON.
You are winning all the games. You are creating a lot of chances. You are scoring goals. I mean, your defense, which was regarded as a major weakness, has been pretty good so far in the tournament. So why then would you descend into this kind of chaos where your 2 best players are going at each other, and then on top of that, then there is this whole bit about money issues. When guys have reported that all these monies have been released, how is it that money that has been released has taken over more than 1 week to hit their accounts? How so? They've played 4 games. They haven't been paid even the bonus for 1 game. They've been in this competition for more than a week.
No, I mean, but am I slightly outdated in thinking that these things can be handled out after the tournament? Is it that there's no trust whatsoever?
Yeah, exactly.
It is a trust
issue because
that is what it is.
And I mentioned this during AFCON Daily that these players growing up, they've watched, they've heard, they've read about former players who are in. Some of them are poor, some of them are okay, but they still complain bitterly about the promises that were made to them that weren't fulfilled. And they don't want to repeat that cycle.
And if you hear the woman's quote, she says that they are trying themselves to avoid consistent issues of paying monies to these people at major tournaments. So according to what she herself is saying, this is something that happens at almost every single major tournament they are at.
And it's not just the Nigerian men's football team. It happens with the Falcons. They won the women's AFCON. Ask them how they managed to get paid. They had to go on demonstration.
They had to revolt.
Before they got paid.
And you see, that's the thing about, to answer the question, if this is, the men feel like, if they do that to the Super Eagles, so you can imagine what they do to the women and their age-restricted teams. If this is what they are doing to Osimhen and
Lookman, imagine.
Like, come on, man.
And look, the 2023 AFCON, Nigeria finished second. They were promised, after the tournament, they were promised houses and lands.
I remember.
And it took another boycott, which was in the ahead of the World Cup playoff qualifiers. For them to be able to get the awareness, for them to be able to get the attention of the authorities, for the authorities first to pay for the outstanding bonuses owed them, for them to train before the World Cup playoff qualifiers, and then ahead of this tournament, like 3-4 days before this tournament started, that's when the authorities visited. Oh, Semenyo with a good chance. Oh no, they missed it on. That's when the authorities visited the team.
It was a good idea.
That's when the authorities visited the team and handed them the certificates of the houses and the lands that they promised. This is way back in 2024.
I remember.
You get it? So imagine if they hadn't boycotted that training ahead of the World Cup qualifier. Do you think it would have pushed the authorities to pay or fulfill that promise?
Nope.
And guess what? It wasn't just the promise fulfilled for the Super Eagles. It was also fulfilled for the Super Falcons. Ahead of this year's WAFCON, they will be also given the certificate. And it wasn't just football, basketball too. The women's basketball team for Nigeria, the Tigers, they made it all the way to the quarterfinals of the Olympic Games. The last Olympic Games, they made it all the way to the quarterfinals. So.
Yep. That's a big deal.
Big deal. The first African nation to do so. And they too, they are fighting for their bonuses. So you just ask
what
yourself.
the minister is saying, It's a comic relief.
It's a bunch of
comic relief
rhetoric.
statement.
Yeah.
It's just rhetoric.
Wow, Kazakh.
So we've heard it, we've seen it before, and people are questioning, why can't you look at the bigger picture? You're on the verge of winning the winning the AFCON. Why can't you just put your head down and get to work and continue with the fine work you are doing and get to win the ultimate? Because at the end of the day, it's not like quote unquote you guys are hungry. It's true. It's not about the money, but it's about the principles.
Yeah.
Honoring the principles, and it's about distrust. These players have heard it, they've seen it several times, and nothing has happened. So they need to resort to these kind of,
because if they leave this tournament, like
It
for
will
instance,
come.
if they get eliminated in this game,
Sekanache.
it will become a whole different story to get their money.
and ask yourself, why would Truth Ekong just before the start of this tournament
I know.
announce his retirement?
I was-
Because he's tired of these things.
I was telling somebody that
Go.
like he looked at everything that was happening and said, well, you know what? I don't like looking at the World Cup qualifiers and the playoffs and all
the boycotts that happened.
all the drama that happened. I'm too old to be part of this again.
Why
Like,
would I want to put myself
I've
in this?
seen too many of these episodes. Like, guys, all the best. Godspeed.
Yes,
like,
because,
let me excuse myself.
and I look at, just to finish up on Algeria, I look at Algeria, I mean, typical North African side, not too much flamboyance, unlike Morocco, not too much flamboyance, very organized. I mean, it's Vladimir Petkovic, he coached Switzerland at the previous Euros, and so you know what he's bringing to the table. Very organized, strong, it's not too flamboyant, not too expressive, but at the end of the day, they preach about efficiency, and that is what has been able to get them this far with just enough quality, efficiency, and just enough quality and organization. They balance it all, add these to it together, and that's what has brought them this far. And so I'm not surprised with the way they've gone about their business in the AFCON so far, but against Nigeria and the fact that, look, you have a situation where Algeria played against a very physical DR Congo side, and they went all the way to the 120th mark in extra time before they got the win and managed to qualify to this stage. In that sense, I look at that, the physicality bit, and I look at the quality. Nigeria have way too much quality even on the bench that they can call on these guys to come in and deliver the business. So that's why I look at it, and despite all the chaos that is happening, I still think that Nigeria will be able to get a win over Algeria.
Well, they have 10 meetings in the AFCON. Nigeria have won 3 of the previous 9, so this is their 10th. Algeria have also recorded 4 victories. So, and then there's 2 matches ending in draw. So Algeria have just a slight upper hand in these fixtures. Nothing heavy on Nigeria so far. Now, you can talk about Nigeria defeated Algeria to live their first AFCON actually in Lagos, 1980. So Algeria returned the favor a decade later, beating the Super Eagles in their own major title in 1990. So it's a pretty historic fixture.
Yeah, and the 2019 AFCON at the semi-final. Remember that Riyad Mahrez free kick? It was against Nigeria, and that once he scored that, Algeria went to the final and they ended up winning the AFCON. So Moses Simon even mentioned it in his pre-game presser that he remembers that game because he was part of that squad.
Now, if you look at key numbers, Nigeria have scored 12 goals in 4 matches. So they are a pretty free scoring side. You can talk about Osimhen, Lookman, Adams leading Nigeria's attack, pace, power, and all of it in between. Coach, I mean, you've been observing the game for just about 10 minutes now. What have you made of the first opening exchanges and the balance of play?
I think the Super Eagles are slightly ahead. They've created the best chance in the game so far, and in the attacking sense, they are a bit dominant. It is now that the Algerians, it seems like having weathered the storm, they are now trying to calm their nerves and then see whether they can pass the ball and progress the ball and try to create some chances of their own. But I can trust you, mate, this is going to be a very, very tough game. It's going to be a game that is going to be keenly contested from the beginning to the very end.
Does it look like a potential extra time penalty type game to you?
No, I don't think so. I think
we'll get a winner in 90 minutes.
We'll have a winner in 90 minutes.
Well, Nigeria.
I
knows that.
like the confidence of the Nigerian players.
Yeah.
This is what we didn't see of Cameroon,
Yep.
yesterday. They
Yep.
were just not.
That touch.
Osimhen,
Yeah,
Osimhen
there was
has
there was an extra touch
Yeah,
in
you know-
there.
you know
It took him a bit.
his head is always down when he's receiving the ball. I've noticed that thing about him. I thought it was just a temporary thing, but I always notice that whenever he's getting the ball to feet, like he's looking at the ball. By that time, like that's like 3 seconds
Hey.
wasted. So I don't know,
And
man.
people want to be a funny.
Well,
I mean, it can't get any worse than what happened last night with officiating.
Yeah,
actually.
man.
So, and right now, officiating has come under the spotlight heavily
yeah.
because of recent happenings with the officials. It's not a good look, honestly. It's not too much of a good look, even for
I
CAF.
think compared to what we saw in Cote d'Ivoire, this has been a dip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
in Cote d'Ivoire-
even compared to, and when you look at the fact that there's a bit of influence on even CAF, it's not a good look because yes, the referees have made their appointment of a particular referee for the Morocco Cameroon game. Then Morocco protested that they don't want that referee. So yesterday, the referee who officiated that game wasn't supposed
Yeah,
to.
I was shocked.
Wasn't supposed to officiate that game.
Who was supposed to officiate?
It was Amir Mohammed Omar. He's from Egypt. He was supposed to officiate that game. The referees committee announced him as the official because all things considered. I mean, they will look at review and all your performance.
Yeah.
And then the Moroccan FA protested, and CAF bowed. And in the end, they brought in Dahani Baida, who officiated the game last night, and it wasn't the best.
I have a little update on Semenyo for you. I think he has grabbed his first assist for Manchester City, or a goal at least. Let me check. Let me just be sure, and I will give you that update in a few seconds. So 1 second, I will pull that up for you in a bit. Let me get to my FA Cup. Hold on there for me. I'm getting that for you right about now.
Yeah, that would be great.
Semenyo has scored actually. Antoine Semenyo is up and cooking already for Manchester City. Yep.
Yeah, Manchester City 6-0. Semenyo 54th minute, he got the goal. And guess what? Ryan Sheki was the one who got the assist. And on top of that, the fifth goal, Rico Lewis was the one who got the goal, and Antoine Semenyo gave the assist. So an assist and a goal on his
That's
debut.
a good start.
So he has so he got the Rico Lewis assist, and then he got the goal. So Semenyo on to a good start at his Manchester City debut. We are happy for him. Hopefully he can keep it going. But that's the story of Nigeria and Algeria. Very interesting game happening so far. It's 15 minutes played. The Super Eagles, with all the baggage and all the issues they've come into the game with, they don't look like that at all. Actually, they've started off the game in really hot fashion.
The quality is there.
Yeah.
The quality is there. If you look at the coaches that have come through, all of them do well.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because of these things, they leave.
Extracurricular activities,
Yes.
and extracurricular issues
For
that
instance,
will benefit the team.
Why would Pissarro leave after guiding Nigeria to finish second at the last AFCON?
In fact, that's one of the worst decisions they've made in recent times.
Why would he leave?
I
Because
don't even understand.
at the end of the day, coach has done his job.
Yeah.
Then we have to wait multiple months just to get his pay. And you ask yourself, but who will feel comfortable working in such a situation like this?
5-6 months, no pay. Then
And
I have to
you know
wait.
what is more frustrating? If you're in a situation where you know that, the country I work for isn't rich. So these kind of things are to be expected. Delay in payments, they are normal.
And Nigeria has
But
money.
Nigeria has a lot of money.
Yeah. And that's why the players are also behaving like, because they know that their country has
There's cash. That's why coach is placed with Man United, because he knows that there's cash. So when there's cash, why can't you invest in the squad?
Meanwhile, update on Newcastle AFC Bournemouth. Newcastle are up by 1-0 in that game as well. Game looks very chaotic, very end-to-end type of game. Now, let me read messages coming through. Kankam from Tema says, did you guys see the Semenyo double dribble before the City third goal? Well, there's that. Kwame says that good day City Sports. Harmless question. Is Semenyo going to have the luxury of shooting how he used to shoot at his former club?
No.
If no, then it's a bad move.
How? No, at AFC Bournemouth, he was a kingpin.
He had risen to star player level.
At Manchester City,
He's one
you
of
are
the
you are a cog in the machine.
Yeah,
you are a cog in the system.
Role player. Or you call it
Well, I
role
won't
player?
say a role player necessarily, but you are part of the system. I mean, because this guy, Bernardo Silva, Bernardo Silva could have been the star player for many a team.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's at Man City. He's part of the machine.
True.
That's how the system works. Unless, like I said, unless you are Messi, where Pep Guardiola will alter a whole system and build it around you. Unless you are that, unless you are Erling Haaland, where he will ditch his false nine thing and play you and force his team to rejig the system all around you. Unless you are that kind of player, you are part of the system, you are part of the squad, and you are part of the rotation. And so he wouldn't get a chance to be shooting as many shot attempts as he did at AFC Bournemouth. But that doesn't mean that it's a wrong move.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, football wise, like I've already explained, it fits, it makes sense. On a personal level, it also makes sense because at the end of the day, he gets the chance to win a title at least. This is a guy who used to play for Bath City, Newport County. He was on loan at, think about it. Semenyo has been through the trenches. He went on loan at Millwall, Newport County, Bath City, even Sunderland, who just beat Everton. Semenyo spent some time there on loan at the club, and before he moved over to Bristol City, and now he gets the chance to play for Man City. He will play Champions League football. He gets the chance to win a title. It's good for him on a personal level, aside the money. You get it? And the football bit, he will play consistently. So it's a win-win. I don't see how that can be classified as a wrong move because of short selection or short count. No, I don't see it.
Football fans are always going to be passionate about where their players go, how they do it. I don't know. Lots of stuff going on there. AFC Bournemouth have grabbed an equalizer in their game. It's 1-1. I think Adam Scott is the one with that goal. So that's how this one will
And that will do him a lot of good because the last England games that they played, that the Three Lions played, he was called up to the team.
This
and he
Nigeria
also
goalkeeper,
scored.
he's not serious one bit.
He comes in for a lot of criticism. I mean, a lot of people aren't cool with him at all.
Osimhen was on his case a while ago, some time ago.
Oh yeah, they also had
their issues, and then all of that stuff happened. So very interesting stuff going on there with Nigeria and the Super Eagles. Let's take another break here, just a quick break here on the show, The Republic of Football. We have just about 40 minutes or so, just a little under that. When we come back, we'll get into more of this Nigeria-Algeria game. We'll talk about Egypt-Cote d'Ivoire because that game is at 7 p.m. We'll wrap up the FA Cup matches happening, and then we will take the show home. Stay here with us on The Republic of Football. We'll be right back.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we're there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of Black Stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours. 10 years of memories, 10 years of adventure, 10 years of culture and crazy good vibes. This March, we are turning it all the way up from the 1st to the 8th of March 2026. 8 days, 14 regions, one legendary caravan. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. Expect non-stop fun, breathtaking views, deep cultural immersion, and unforgettable moments. This is more than a trip. It's culture in motion, adventure without limbs. Seats are limited, and this is the 10th anniversary edition. You cannot miss this. Call 0205 973 973 or 0558 973 973 to secure your seat. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from Citi FM. Terms and conditions apply. The Heritage Caravan 2026. Experience Ghana like never before. City 97.3. Accra.
Welcome back to the Republic of Football. I am Benjamin Inkesia, doing this with Coach Christopher Nimley, Manuel Kwache, and Yao Jaminta. Thank you guys for your messages so far. I'll be getting into more YouTube messages in a bit. Do get to the YouTube page, hit the like and subscribe button at City Sports GH. Drop us a comment, and we'll be too happy to read out your comments. So let me go to the message box and see what is coming through there, and then I will get a few thoughts in. Okay, so lots of messages. 0539 sorry, 986 996, 0539 986 996. AFC Bournemouth have scored in their game against Newcastle. It's 2-1. So down a goal not too long ago. They managed to get an equalizer through Adam Scott, and then they have managed to take the lead. So I believe it's about, I'm going to check the time. It's about 60-something minutes played, I want to believe. This is the goal. Ball floated long over the top, counter-attacking type situation. Lots of work being done by Scott, I think.
Brooks
Oh, you are kidding me. Yeah. What a finish. So he literally carried the ball the whole length of the pitch, had a little blip, picked it up again, and then finessed the ball into the bottom corner. So Brooks, giving AFC Bournemouth the lead. Newcastle have a big situation.
That's an Antoine Semenyo type of finish.
Charlie, he scored the goal and kasa.
You look at what the goal he scored against Liverpool, that kind of, and scoring from that angle,
they are bringing the terrible twins into the game. Just when they conceded, Bruno Guimaraes and Joelinton are coming on for Newcastle United. Quite a quick thoughts on that one. Quick thoughts on the goal and the Newcastle situation.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising. They started really well in the game. Harvey Barnes got a really good goal. For him personally, I'm just really happy to see him be very fit throughout the season, because I think he's one of the better players. He would definitely be in the England conversation if he had been more fit. If he had been more fit throughout the years. I mean, but for Bournemouth, I think it's good. Shows good strength, being able to come back, to come from behind to take the lead. You're also talking about who is next off the production line at Bournemouth. David Brooks was one of the highly rated players. He had to go away for some time because he was dealing with cancer. But he's back to full health, and I think he's been playing really good football since he's been back.
Yeah. So Bournemouth doing the business there. They've taken off both Trippier, I believe, and I think somebody else, Wissa. Yes, so Trippier and Wissa have gone off in that game. Joe Wellington on. Joe Willock has gone off as well. So looks like Newcastle are in desperation mode. It's 70 minutes played in the game already. So they know that they need to get their act together if they will get anything out of this game. Meanwhile, in the AFCON game, it's still goalless between Nigeria and Algeria. Nigeria, though, in fact, a lot of this game has been played in the half of the Algerians. They can barely get out of their half to create anything meaningful. Meanwhile, though, Nigeria are not getting clear-cut shots.
It's the final ball that is lacking. The quality of the final ball towards Semenyo and then Lookman is just not what it should be.
And we have a goal. Ooh, this is a big decision. I thought that ball was cleared off the line. This is a big decision. Lookman with the cross. The header went in, or I think the ball went in.
I think it was Calvin Bassey who almost put the ball in, but
we need to see this again. They need to review this again.
Yes.
Do we have goal line technology in this tournament?
No, I don't think so. But
This is a big decision.
I don't think it was a line.
No.
It's a goal. It crossed. It's a goal.
It got across.
It's a goal. Now
watch
watch
the
it.
full circumference cross.
Watch it. The full circumference cross.
No, it didn't cross. The full
It
circumference
didn't
didn't
cross.
cross.
Hold on. It's very close.
The full
It's
circumference
very
didn't
close.
cross.
I think it was just a little bit of
Yeah.
it that didn't go over the line.
The full circumference didn't cross.
Wow.
They
It
are
didn't
watching.
cross. Yeah.
Big. I think they are reviewing this again, but I feel like we had a very good view of it from here.
There wasn't enough power. I think that's the problem with Bass. He got in direction. I think if he had been able to hit it hard and on his left foot, it would have gone directly into the net.
The referee is trying to get confirmation of that decision. The Algerian fans look nervous, and they have had a very nervy 30 minutes or so in this game so far. I thought they were coming into the game as slight favorites. Just based on all the stuff going on with Nigeria. Nigeria statistically are having a really good tournament, even like football quality wise, really good tournament, except all the things that has happened. So I thought Algeria would capitalize and probably take advantage, but looks like it's been mostly Nigeria as far as this game is concerned.
That's a corner kick.
So corner kick for Nigeria. Referee says that was no goal.
I think
Close
they got
save
the
for the
spot on.
Algerians.
Yeah, I think they got the spot on. If even less than a second,
Yeah.
then it would have been a goal. If the defender had delayed just even less than a second, it would have been a goal. But yeah, his timing was on point, and he managed to get that clearance. Right.
Crosses into the box are delicious. So his cross is what nearly resulted in the goal.
I've noticed one thing. I think down the Algerian right side, but Nigeria's left, they've been very physical with Riyad Mahrez. I've seen it on multiple occasions, one-on-one situations.
Yep.
Different players. It will be first. It was Iwobi, and then later it was Onyemachi.
Yeah.
Who is playing as
Left back.
Left back. Ahead of Zaidu.
Another big chance wasted by Nigeria, guys. They are wasting chances in droves. Wow. So this ball again crossed in, looking for. I think that is Adams.
Yeah, look at Aqua Adams.
Was looking for Adams, but his marker managed to get the better of him. So Nigeria have really been the better of the two sides. I'm trying to see if I can get an XG to this game.
You see the Algerian goalkeeper, he wants to break the momentum.
Yeah.
And so he's more he's lying down thinking
They've literally been up against it in this game so far. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's one of the tactics used by coaches now, because even any other player is injured, they can just go off the pitch. But if a goalkeeper is injured, you can't restart the game. So coaches are now purposely telling their goalkeepers to, if you see you spot the game. A bit like, I think so. I would also say maybe Kepa. If you remember what Kepa was trying to do with Sarri in the final, but I think Sarri misunderstood it. So now there's a more of a direct approach to the issue. But
I mean that, you go to other sports, they use a timeout. to break the momentum of the opponent. But
football, you don't have that luxury.
So you can play around the rules a little bit. And so if your goalkeeper can't get substituted off the pitch, if he's injured and doesn't have to leave the pitch for the game to carry on, why don't you get your goalkeeper to fall down or to feign an injury if you are under a lot of pressure and you just need to break the momentum and be able to get a word or two across to your players to reorganize themselves and get yourself back in the game.
I agree with that, but sometimes I feel like with the officiating, it also leads the players to behave in certain ways. So now you notice the headbutt thing, the one where someone touches your head with his forehead and then you have to fall down like you've been shot.
Yeah.
And
even the head
the other player.
Like whenever there's a head injury, the game has to be immediately stopped.
Yes.
And so these days, the slightest bit of contact, once the players notice that
someone has an elbow up, you just go down.
They've lost possession, then they fall down holding their head, and the referee is obliged to blow the whistle. And unfortunately, sometimes he ends up killing potential chances. So it's one of those things.
Well, one of those things certainly. Let's turn our direction a little and preview that Egypt-Cote d'Ivoire game really quickly before we do a mop-up of the scores from around Europe. So this game, one of those tournament heavyweight encounters, big meeting as far as Egypt and Cote d'Ivoire both are concerned. Cote d'Ivoire are the current defending champions of the competition. Now, the two teams, they faced off first in the group stage. I believe this was in 2006's AFCON. On both occasions, Hossam Hassan and his team, they emerged victorious in that one. So you can talk about that particular one. When you look a little down the line, Cote d'Ivoire, they had to make a 3-hour bus drive in this game to Agadir from Marrakech to get to their particular venue. MSFI assistant coach now 10 head coach. So that's what's going on with them. Let me start off with you on this one, Coach. Cote d'Ivoire's tournament has been pretty decent. They've not blown anybody away with their performances, but they've done the job when they've needed to. Egypt, a little more labored in getting their results, but they are also here. Is this a game of equals, or do you have a slight favorite going into this game based on tournament experience?
I think the Ivorians are slight favorite because it's like whenever they have decided to come out to play their football, going forward, they are a delight to watch. They are indeed a delight to watch. If you look at the movement, the off-the-ball movement of their front guys, very, very profound. And Amad Diallo, they've got arguably one of the best players in the tournament.
Facts.
He fancies himself 1v1 situation, and the beauty of Ahmad is that he draws players onto himself. So if you watch him, he's not dribbling all the time. I said when he thinks that he's been doubled upon, he tend to delay and wait for the pass, then they are off the mark.
Coach, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I mean, Amorim, how do you think the criticism towards Amorim of him not being able to utilize Ahmad for using the best skills of him, do you think that's valid?
No,
because where he played him and
I
where
think,
he
I
plays
think
for
he's brought
Cote
the
d'Ivoire.
best out of Ahmad. Amorim, go.
Goodness gracious.
Who is this?
That looks like Adams.
Aqua Adams.
How could you miss this?
Oh my goodness. Nigeria just missed another huge opportunity. So long ball, they intercept the ball.
Are you serious?
Oh,
No, he
come
has
on,
to score.
man.
He has to
Come
score.
on, man.
Looking at it from that
Come
angle,
on, man.
he has to score.
I thought the ball was in the back of the net. Like, I thought it was just a
No,
matter
but what
of...
sort of curling is that?
Nah, that is such a poor finish. What? Yeah, he knows it. He knows he should be doing better with that opportunity. Nigeria have missed at least 3 golden opportunities in this first half. 3.
At least they should be at least
a
goal
goal
out.
ahead. Yep. Algeria have still not threatened Nigeria
they've
at
not
all
at all.
in this game, but some way, somehow, the Super Eagles are blowing away their chances. You're making a
Yeah,
point.
so like I said, when it comes to Ahmad, I think Ruben Amorim has to be credited for how well he's become as a player. Because if you remember, and under Ten Hag, he was sparingly used.
Yep.
He was sparingly used. He was not the main man in charge and attacking wise. The likes of Rashford and Co. were always getting the nod ahead of him. But once Morin came, I think the first player to have actually adjusted himself well to the Amorim system, I think is Ahmad.
Coach,
And he's never looked back. He's always been on form. He's played better in the Manchester United set. He's again one of the first team on the team sheet, one of the first names on the team sheet.
You don't think he'd have been better utilized as one of the 10s rather than a fullback?
No, see, as a 10, if you look at
and
the
he's
way
based
they,
on Amorim's system, not necessarily.
Occasionally, he's used as a 10. If you look at since the arrival of Cunha and Mbeumo, I think Ahmad, in my view, is better off where he's playing. Now that the system have changed because Amorim has gone, there are going to be issues. So.
Big issues.
Who plays? Because if the team is going to go to a back four, Ahmad clearly is not a fullback. So the back four is settled. Then you have the two in the middle of the pack. That front three before the main striker. If they chose to maintain Bruno as one of the midfielders, the two, then Mbeumo, Ahmad, Cunha, I don't think they should ever think about benching Šeško because he gets Man United to play a bit differently. Route 1 under pressure, you hit it long. He's winning most of his aerial duels. And what is so pleasing about him is that he's heading the ball to initiate an attack. So I wait to see what whoever the next Manchester United coaches is going to do. But in the case of Ahmad, in this tournament, he's been an absolute delight to watch. I think Cote d'Ivoire's biggest problem is the fact that in case Ahmad is eclipsed by the Egyptian, who else
would they use as an
can
outlet?
they use as an outlet? Zaha, he's not been the same player, isn't it?
Wilf.
Yeah, he's just not been the same player. So for me, Nigeria will have to be careful though, as they are virtually bullying.
I wonder if they can
Algerians.
keep up this pace in the second half, because this type of pace, if you see every time Algeria has the ball, even in their own half, there's 3 Nigerian players pressing them.
I think they can maintain
and
because of the depth.
Well, my problem,
They should be able to maintain.
Oh, because of the depth. So you know that if, like, let's say 65th minute, you are running out of gas. The players that are deploying the press, Lukman, Victor Osimhen, Akko Adams, they are all replaceable. Because
I don't like this striker. I've said this thing.
Because at the end of the
striker
day,
is this?
The one who spoiled the ball. The one
Adams.
Akko Adams.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because if you take out Akko Adams
Most
in
of
there,
his first
you can
touches
bring
are long.
and Lukman. You can stretch the game even further by bringing in true wingers. In Ejuke and Chukwueze. Then you can go with a traditional old school throwback kind of striker in Paulo Nuachu. Or you can even put in Moses Simon in there.
I don't like what Nigeria are doing in this game attacking wise, because a lot of the times the end product to their balls in the final third have fallen to Adams, and Osimhen has ended up on the right multiple times, and he's the one trying to cut the ball in. I don't get it. He should be in the box running through the middle, but Adams is the one getting on the end of all the dangerous balls. And I've watched Adams play. I actually think he's a pretty creative player. He doesn't strike me as much of a finisher. He doesn't strike me as a finisher at all. More like a winger or an attacking midfielder type of player. And so that miss was shocking, but again, I'm not really surprised. I think Lukman or Victor on that ball, and that's in the back of the net.
And looking at the way the game has gone so far, 42 minutes, Nigeria getting the domination of the possession, creating chances and everything enough. So, and it's still goalless. If I'm Vladimir Petkovic, the way I look at it, I would say, the game plan is still on, because it's clear that they want to do a smash and grab.
Yeah,
it's clear they want to do a smash and grab.
And Nigeria they like those type of performances in knockout phase.
Thank you. Knockout phase. We're in the knockout phase. We don't need to play pretty football. Even the group stage, we didn't play too much of pretty football. And now we are going into this game where we are the underdogs. Nigeria are the favorites in this game.
forget about everything that's happening off the pitch. They are the favorites in this game, and so if we are not the favorites, and on top of that, we don't necessarily play expansive, expressive football. Why would we want to go out of character? Just be ourselves, stick to, with our identity, defend very well, stay organized, and try as much as possible to catch Nigeria when the concentration is a bit slack, and the reaction to certain mistakes are a bit slow. Knowing very well that you mentioned in Wabali, he's already gone close to committing a howler. All of these things come to play, and trust me, the Algerians will be sharp to be able to pounce on these instances should they pop up, and that's when they get the goal and they shut shop and they end up being able to manage the game through and win it.
So far it's still goalless. Let me take Kwache's thoughts on Egypt Cote d'Ivoire. Where do you think that game is leaning? Who's your money on in that game?
It's a tight game.
I can help you with a few statistics to guide you if you want. So if you look at numbers for this game in particular, I have a few numbers here. Let me see if I can pull those out. So there have been quite a number of games between these two teams. If you look at recently, I think my page has refreshed itself, so I'll get you back in this. But you can make your point. I'll come back to that.
Yeah, I was saying that I think it will be a tight game, and I think this is one of those games that probably could be defined by their standout players. Yeah, and obviously on Egypt's side, it's Mohamed Salah and all the pressure that's on him and everything that comes with having to prove himself as again
somebody who can take Egypt to the promised land,
back to the promised land. Because according to most Egyptians, they were there before he came.
Facts.
Which is the thing that I think is most damaging for him. It's not only the fact that he hasn't won an AFCON, obviously.
They don't have a good enough team like they used to have.
Previously,
they were not overly reliant on one player. Everybody in the team was good.
True.
It's sort of, if Salah was part of the previous generation, he would have won everything they would have won, because that was a solid team.
True.
About Tricard, those guys were solid.
Yeah, that was Mohamed Zidane.
Yeah, Zidane. But this team now, as you speak, this particular Egyptian team, apart from Salah and to some extent Mamouche, who else had? They don't have any player.
The star names.
No.
I mean, is Hegazi still around?
How old is Hegazi again? Mohamed El Senawi, also very old. Now, if you look at the head-to-head, so they've met 21 times overall. Pharaohs have won 11 compared to the Elephants 6. 4 games have ended as draws. Now, there was a stat that said that Cote d'Ivoire have failed to win against Egypt, I believe, in the last 3 or 4 matches or so. So it's not a game the Elephants have necessarily done well in recent times. I'm looking for those numbers again for you, just so you have some good perspective to what we are talking about. But tough game for them. You're saying something about you expecting it to be a close draw, and then who's running away with the victory in a close game?
In a close game, I think it might go to penalties, and then it's anyone's game. I think the two teams could be evenly matched and probably cancel themselves out, and it's just about who feels the pressure more. Obviously, we know, like we've mentioned, we know where Salah and Egypt's pressure is coming from, but we also know that Cote d'Ivoire are the defending champions, and they themselves are out to, if not reclaim at least retain their throne, at least put in a good enough performance and
make a semi-final or a final at least.
Yeah, they have their weight, and you can see it with the point you mentioned earlier. We brought up Crystal Palace today, and them getting knocked out by Macclesfield. Obviously, that is a shock, but then there's a point to where these people were playing with pressure. These are the defending FA Cup champions. Obviously, there was some sense of complacency. Yeah. I haven't seen the team selection itself, but it's another thing that bothers me with these Premier League managers. Like you
rotated a good chunk of their squad.
You go the whole season without having anything to play for. You are playing most games to decide whether you finish between 8th or 15th. For a lot of these teams, you're not actually competing for Europe, or you're not in danger of relegation. And then you play into a cup competition where you're not even facing a Premier League team. You're facing a team from another league who you get me. If you were able to play your full strength team, you should easily win the game. And those are the moments in which they decide to alter and make changes and affect their chances. To be fair to
Oliver Glasner, his squad, they've been dropping points, they've been drawing games, losing games they shouldn't. You would expect them to lose. So I want to believe that he thinks his team is fatigued, and so this was he's thinking to himself, it's Macclesfield. Like, what could possibly go wrong? Like, this is a chance to give my French players a chance to stretch their legs. Unfortunately, the leg stretching turned to a defeat. But I'm sure most of the youngsters were happy to have a run out. I'm sure that most of the experienced guys were happy to sit out in the game. He played McGay in this game, so
fair. But then
flipped up the team completely.
But then the point that I'm trying to build with that is if he gets to a point where you are 1-0, 2-0 down as Crystal Palace, even if it hadn't occurred to you, the pressure of you defending your title occurs to you. Now they're in a situation where as soon as they're losing, they're like, ooh, like, get me, we're the holders and we're going out at this stage. Obviously, for Cote d'Ivoire, it's slightly different. This is the quarterfinals. I don't think, we've spoken about during this AFCON. Algeria went to AFCON without winning after they last won. They last won their title. Sometimes you see it a lot with the World Cup too. So was it the year after Italy won? They got knocked out of the group stage. Germany haven't gotten past the group stage since they also won the tournament. There's a certain pressure, there's a certain mental element that comes with having to constantly go out and play a team. And even though to you think you are achieving, maybe you are at par or you achieved your objectives, the expectation because you won the tournament can weigh on you. And so far, at least, I don't think I've seen Cote d'Ivoire playing with that weight on them. But like I said, once you start conceding and once you go behind in games, these are just little other things that can keep up on you. I think it'll be a tight game, and like I said, I think it will be decided by which team, I'd say the South players, whoever is able to come to the party more.
Yeah, you get the final word on the Egypt-Cote d'Ivoire and then a prediction as well.
I think the Nigeria-Algeria game is the game today that will go to a penalty shootout, potentially penalty shootout, and definitely extra time before that, if we are going to have a penalty shootout. But the Cote d'Ivoire-Egypt game, I think it's a straightforward win for Cote d'Ivoire. I'm picking Cote d'Ivoire to beat Egypt.
Straightforward?
Look, this Egyptian team, like we've all agreed on this table, that they are not the best compared to the previous generations, and they've done so well for themselves to be able to come through to the quarterfinals with this new crop of players and the diminishing level of Mohamed Salah. But you look at this Ivorian team, the way it is evenly spread out, the quality, it is evenly spread out. And the fact that the egos are not pretty much there. And the fact that if you watch them play, it's very much as a collective. It's so very much as a collective. The second goal that they got against Burkina Faso, Amar picks the ball, he runs with the ball, beats his man, casts the ball back. Frankesi has the chance to have a shot at goal.
I think Newcastle has a penalty.
Oh, that is crazy. This is time added on. It's 6 minutes of time added on, and it's 2 minutes into time added on. Let's see this again. Man. It's halftime, meanwhile, in the Nigeria versus Algeria game. It's still goalless. Let's look at this penalty incident again. Penalty, right? This is a penalty. This is I think the goalkeeper was left exposed by his back. You can tell from his facial expression that he knew what he had done. I guess this will go to a replay.
Yeah, because sometimes they want
they'll go to extra time.
Oh, yeah.
They described it. I think they
I think it starts
semi-final.
Semi-final stage. So let's see who takes this penalty. Huge penalty for Newcastle.
Definitely Bruno Gomarais.
Well, it looks like he's lining up for it.
And recently he scored a goal from a penalty spot, so that's pretty much it.
The goalkeeper.
I think strikers make a bit too much sometimes when they come out and the goalkeeper is throwing themselves at the ball.
No, but that's what you're supposed to do. It's textbook. He knows that the goalkeeper doesn't have a lot of options.
Yes.
And so run at him and force him to make a decision.
Just make sure you
get it. I feel like the referee should be able to see the momentum and like how.
No, we're not going to talk
about
it.
You can make a point there. If let's say per the way he played it, you can make a point or an argument that there was no way he was
his
going
momentum shouldn't make him fall in this direction.
There was no way he would be able to get to the ball, even if he had stayed on his feet.
Yeah,
you can make that argument, but once it's the penalty box, things are a little bit heightened.
I think Voltmata is playing it.
They were having a little
Anthony Gordon.
Yeah,
interesting.
Confused.
What is going on with Anthony Gordon and this retro hairstyle and retro headband? Meanwhile, he has gone like how many games without goal contributions? Anyway.
And so so I look at the Cote d'Ivoire team and the way they play for each other, the way the team is quite fluid with this build up and the overall quality that they have. I think they'll be able to get beyond Egypt and make it to the semifinals. And for Nigeria, it's pretty much the same. I see them being able to outlast Algeria, though it wouldn't be an easy thing. I see them being able to go to extra time and potentially win penalties. If it goes to penalties, then it gets tricky. That's when maybe Algeria can nick it.
Yeah, Algeria are pretty good at penalties. So Anthony Gordon has scored. That was close. That was a very close one. Let me give you a few of the numbers I was talking about with regards to Egypt and Cote d'Ivoire. So there have been 22 clashes between the two sides in history. Egypt winning 12 times, Cote d'Ivoire and the Ivory Coast and 12 times over Cote d'Ivoire and losing just 7. Now, the Elephants have won just once in their last 6 matches against the Pharaohs. So that's something you should chew on. Cote d'Ivoire have not done well against Egypt in recent times at all. Now, they clashed for the first time. Since 2022 when they drew goalless in the AFCON group stage. Now, 3 of the last 5 clashes between the sides have ended in a draw, all goalless. So that's a tie that typically goes goalless, and then most often than not. So this game probably head to extra time, maybe penalties, and then you could talk about Egypt ranked in 35th, Cote d'Ivoire ranked in 42nd. Pharaohs unbeaten in their last 5. So are the Elephants. Both teams unbeaten in their last 5 matches. So cracker on our hands by every measure of the numbers we are looking at. Let me go through the FA Cup updated scores, and then we will be looking to wrap it up. So Newcastle 2, Bournemouth 2, Doncaster 2, Southampton 3, Stoke City 1, Coventry 0, Ipswich 2, Blackpool 0. Manchester City finished the Exeter game 10-1.
What?
Yep, they finished the Exeter game 10-1. Antoine Semenyo was subbed off in the 64th minute to be replaced by Jeremy Doku. So that's how. And then you had Reinders, O'Reilly, Makedu, Birch, and Lewis all getting in on the action afterwards. 10-1, guys. 10. Sheffield Wednesday lost 2-0 at home to Brentford. So a Premier League team avoiding that upset. Fulham beat Middlesbrough by 3-1. Also going through. Boreham Wood losing 5-0 to Burton. Burnley also beating Millwall by 5-1. Hopefully this can boost their own morale. Then you can talk about
just looking at the replay, it's actually slightly tighter than
but
thought.
It didn't cross.
It didn't cross the line.
Full circumference didn't cross.
It
has to fully cross the line.
No,
for there to be no debate, then you rule it as a goal.
I remember what happened with Mane and Liverpool and John Stones. Like the whole ball has to cross the line.
So there's that. Let me go to the Spanish La Liga.
But guess what? Man City beat Exeter City by 10-1.
Yeah.
And the Exeter, what turned out to be the consolation goal, was scored in the 90th minute. I can bet my last Pessoa Pep Guardiola will be pissed about that goal.
He will.
They conceded.
Perfectionist.
I can bet my last Pessoa he will be pissed.
There's Villarreal Alaves happening. It's 3-1 advantage Villarreal. Villarreal having a really, really good season. Chelsea, remember this your guy, what's his name, Renato Vega?
Yeah.
He's been playing at centre back for Villarreal this season. Played a little left back as well. And he happens to be excelling. There's Girona versus Osasuna to come, and then Valencia versus Elche.
You see the Chelsea model? Yeah, resale value. Renato Viega, he came to Chelsea. How many games did he even play for Chelsea?
He didn't let him. I think he
didn't play much.
I think he wanted to leave. I think he was unsettled.
Then they said he went on loan to Juventus.
He was at Villarreal too.
Yeah. He's now at Villarreal.
Yeah, he's at Villarreal now. That's where he plays for. He
went to Juventus, did well there. Then I thought he would stay at Juventus, honestly.
Thought so too.
Yeah.
Juventus these days, I don't know. Como played Bologna, ended 1-1. Udine and Pisa ended 2-2. There's an AS Roma and Sassuolo game to come. Also, Atalanta to play Torino. So those are some games to look out for. Let's wrap up here, guys, on Nigeria, Algeria. It's halftime. The Newcastle game is going into extra time. So there's that. They are patiently waiting for that period to start. Let's wrap up the conversation. Algeria goalless at halftime. Nigeria wasting a truckload of chances in that encounter.
I mean, based on how the first half has gone, it's down to two things. It's either Nigeria going into the second half are able to, like I was saying, because of their depth, they're able to maintain the quality of chances they were playing and their play in general, and they create opportunities and try and score. But the longer the game goes on and they don't score, then Algeria grow more confident that their game plan is going to win, the smash and grab, and thinking that they can just nick one and then try and score. So for Nigeria, you are playing much better than your opponent. You are creating more chances. What you need to do is go in, get two, 3 goals quickly if you can. At least score, but if you can get maybe 2-3 goals, and then just put the game out of sight, and then you can start making changes with view towards the next round. You mentioned how exhausted Algeria probably are. And Nigeria didn't even have to play Osimhen for the whole of last game. He was well rested. So they can...
Due to his own intention and his own actions.
I mean, but he didn't even have to take part in post-game and all of that stress. He is quite fresh. So if they are able to...
That's just funny.
They should definitely outlast Algeria. They should definitely outlast Algeria. So, yeah, they just need to take their chances when the game comes back on.
Yeah, final word.
Yes, Nigeria living up to expectation as the favorites and playing as favorites and dominating possession, creating chances. They should have been at least a goal up. We've all acknowledged that. But I don't think it's a situation that will get them so frustrated that they'll start messing up and the game plan will start falling apart. I think, they know how good this Algerian team is in terms of being able to contain teams and be able to shut teams out completely and prevent them from scoring goals. So yes, they ride their luck a little bit, as we've seen in the first half with Akko Adams's chance. But at the end of the day, I think Nigeria will be prepped. They are well coached enough and they are experienced enough to know these traits about the North African teams, particularly Algeria. And for people who are looking to, on the lighter side, who are looking to maintain African peace, they'll be hoping and praying that Nigeria ends up beating Algeria and qualifying to the next stage to play Morocco. Because if Algeria plays Morocco, trust me, all hell will break loose. That
will be something else.
I'm definitely rooting for Nigeria to win it. And what they've shown so far, I think
they better win it.
They do have the quality to be able to.
Let me just finish by
win this game.
If Algeria score in this game, Nigeria are done. If Algeria get one goal, Nigeria won't score. Because Algeria know, like, that the dark arts will come out. Like, somebody will get cramps every 5 minutes. Somebody will have a headache. They will lie down. Charlie, you need to go on. We all know what it is. Thank you very much, Yao. Thank you very much, Manuel. Thanks to Coach Christopher. Namely, thank you guys out there for sharing your messages with us, making time to join us on YouTube as well. The show will be back tomorrow. More AFCON discussions, and then obviously we'll talk about some FA Cup games that need to round it up as well. So a lot to chew on, a lot to talk about. Same time tomorrow we'll be back here. I'm Benjamin Nkete. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. Keep your dial right here on 97.3. Keep doing the listening.